everything would be fun and nice. But I still have bad days.
What is up, party people?
Permanently damage my lungs. My lungs need protection against flare-ups.
Let's turn this light off.
It's time to get real. Because in the real world, our lungs deserve the real protection of Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and flare-up protection.
What is going on?
COPD medicine proven to reduce flare-ups by 52%.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
For real protection, ask your doctor about Breztri.
I definitely think mocha is an adult flavor.
Listen, the kids have their drink with candy.
Yeah.
I get my own drink.
This is our candy.
You know,
espresso candy.
Sonic Mocha Crunch Blast. Espresso.
You say espresso?
Yes, I do.
I need to try it first.
Like it, I love it, I want some more of it.
All right, here we go. Miller in motion. Wait, is that a baby on the field?
It looks like it, Craig.
And the defensive linemen are playing peekaboo. I've never seen anything like that before.
Harris now appears to be burping the baby.
That's a great moment right there.
Ref going to the rule book here.
Oh, wait a minute. Harris is off to the races.
We don't need any more trick plays.
Touchdown!
But we could all use more ways to save.
Are you kidding me?
That's got to be a long bus ride home for the defense.
Switch to Geico for more ways to save.
I could maybe eat 2 cheeseburgers and a cherry lemonade.
Oh, yeah. What size?
Hope everyone's ready for some racing today.
Go big or go home.
And if you're gonna do it wrong,
Some Roval
If
racing.
you're going to
eat the dessert.
Eat a
Buy the
dessert.
shoes. Besides, the drink itself off.
You have too many shoes.
I know.
Charlotte, home to so many of the family and friends of the drivers and crew members here. And so they're standing side by side with them as we get ready for pre-race ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Charlotte Fire Department Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as NASCAR Cup Series driver Corey LaJoie offers today's invocation.
Father, we come to you today with thankfulness. Thankful for all the blessings you put in our life each and every day. Thank you for allowing us to live in the best country in the entire world, the United States of America. Thank you for the men and women of the armed forces that continue to protect those freedoms each and every day, Father. But most of all, we thank you for the gift of your Son, Jesus. For through his death and resurrection is our salvation each and every day, Father. So today we ask for your hand of protection over the drivers, the competitors, track services, and all the fans today, Father, because this is the best sport in the entire world, and your Son is our salvation. And in Jesus' precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Corey.
Perform our national anthem. Please welcome North Carolina native Briley Hussey.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, saved us that star
Let's go racing.
It's time to go to work for these young drivers. And again, a playoff advancement on the line here at the Charlotte Roval.
I have AJ winning today. Where's he starting? Man's not even starting in the top 10. Started 14th.
Now that's smart.
Approved.
You did it, Jess. Yay. Jess.
See your offers and apply with Karma Confidence today.
Credit Karma. From free credit scores to tailored card offers and everything in between. Download the app today.
So what came first, the grilled cheese or the burger?
So you know the burger had to come first. You go back hundreds of years. Oh, cheese has been around hundreds of years, too.
Okay.
Sonic grilled cheese double burger.
So.
Wow, this is a good debate.
Oh, look at that one.
Look at those two. When is the last time they were this happy?
I know, right? This place is pretty special.
It really is.
Pain happens in many forms, but that doesn't scare Blue Emu. Delivering fast-acting pain relief in a cream, spray, and lidocaine in a soft foam applicator. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink. Official partner of MLB and Nascar.
I need to try it first.
Beautiful day in Baltimore, where most people probably know that Geico could save them money on car insurance, right? You see, the thing is, Geico, could help them save on boat insurance too. Hey! Okay, I'm ready to come in now. Hello?
I'm trying my best.
Seriously, I'm serious. Request to come ashore.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Roval is already more than most can handle. But the Roval during the playoffs, as an elimination race, yeah, that's enough to make you wonder what could possibly go wrong. Everything. The NASCAR playoffs continue at the Roval. Tomorrow on NBC.
Can we only do like 2 pace laps maybe? Because it's a road course. Can we just only do like 2 pace laps and then we go?
Quite simply, this is a pressure cooker. A playoff battle, a very difficult situation for these drivers to be in. We love you, AJ. This is the most difficult track to go to all year. No wonder should feel great about heading into the Roval. Road courses are a great place to lose a lot of points.
Can he hang on to it? No, he's going to go around.
Hold on.
AJ Allmendinger will win at the Charlotte Roval. It's NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs, the Roval at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Today's telecast presented by Blue Emu. And before the engines fire and we get that command, let's get a few updates. We'll start with Dave.
Rick, Justin Allgaier is having a fantastic 2021 playoffs. Finishes of second and third have him in prime position to advance to the next round today. You heard Dale Jarrett talk about it in terms of being home free if he could just stack on a few points. And after checking in with the team here, that's exactly what they want to do. Set themselves up with stage points in the first stage, then perhaps see what they want to do in terms of strategy to go out and just win this thing, Parker.
Well, Dave, for Riley Herbst, it's a little bit different story. 32 points below the cut line in this playoff cutoff race. So his objective is simple. He's going into this thinking, I must win this race. But if others have issues, I asked him, do you want to know if this starts to shift to a point situation? He said, absolutely. I want to know if we start having to race for points. That's my objective for here at Riley Herbst. And Marty Snyder, I think for another driver, it might be a totally different objective.
Yeah, that would be Noah Gregson. And it's funny, when I talked to him before the Talladega race last week, Parker, he said, my goal today, be as aggressive as I can be. But when I talked to him today, he said,
the exact opposite. I want to be conservative. Just keep it on the road today, and we'll get out of here with a top 10 finish. Rick, right now, they are plus 18 above the cut line. A top 10 puts Noah Gragson through to the round of 8.
And Marty, that's surprising because Noah has continued to tell us, hey, I like the entertainment value of what I can do. I go out there and I try to make the crowd ooh and awe with each move I make. So we'll see which Noah Gragson is behind the wheel today. Let's get things underway. We'll fire the engines. Let's go for the command.
And now, race fans, here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina employees Sarah Lopez, Victoria Artis, and Robin Winter.
Beautiful view standing in front of that pink car. And, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the Charlotte Roval taking on the backdrop for today's playoff race.
Hi, I'm Kim Kardashian West, and I'm hosting SNL This Week with Halsey.
Oh my gosh, this crazy thought just occurred to me in this exact moment right now. Should we start our own girl group?
Absolutely not. We already said no when you pitched that backstage.
Okay, you could hear me. I wasn't sure because security had me in a headlock.
Lots of expert help lined up tonight to help us get through the news.
No other people were involved.
They're now going to debate it again and vote again. We have to be very, very precise.
What he did today was word perfect.
It's the Billy Whitaker Cars 200 sales event. Free Chromebook, Smart TV, or a chance to win My Cash in a cash machine. Plus, you get Billy's rewards. Be good to go at Billy Whitaker's.
The unexpected, the unknown. It's not something we ever really prepare for. The only certainty is that Oswego Health offers the best care when you need it. Close to home, skilled medical professionals, state-of-the-art technology. Oswego Health, we're your neighbors, your friends, your family. A complete healthcare system you can count on. Patient-centered care right at home.
So you're going about 60. Is that about right? Okay. And the airbags deployed?
As head of the state's largest motor vehicle accident firm, William Matar is always seeking to gain new insight from car crash experts to keep him at the top of his game.
And the neck is still sore?
Who ordered the Exoreezy? You single?
Heirloom quality, solid wood, American-made furniture at Adirondack Furniture. Beautiful, handcrafted pieces in every style for every room at best prices. Modern, mission, rustic, transitional, contemporary, and shaker. Adirondack Furniture has your style, or we can custom design it for you.
But Columbus still stands a year after the mayor said he's coming down Sunday.
Blue Emu Microfoam, the official pain relief foam of NASCAR. Soft on skin, strong on pain. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Visit GoCreditOne.com. And by Toyota.
There's a lot of road racetracks. There's only one Roval.
It's a real challenging, fun racetrack.
This Roval is giving drivers nightmares right now.
It's a different type of road course. It's a different type of challenge.
The most challenging road course on the schedule. Never lost sight of how chaotic that race is. Chaotic, hectic for sure.
The Roval is...
Hi, I won't be here long. I'm just happy you're here for now. Is it halftime? I shouldn't even be streaming right now. I should be at the fucking dome watching the game. But no, I'm here.
Drivers describing this racetrack, chaotic, uncertain. Let's take a look at the starting grid brought to you by Blue Emu.
Rip the Tums heartburn turn, yeah. The heartburn turn. If we could only do like maybe 2 pace laps, that would be nice because road course pace laps take forever. No, yeah. What did it?
Brett Moffitt will start in row 11. Ty Dillon back there. Sage Karam, we saw his name up there as well. And Josh Balicki, row 16. The man drove all night from Chicago to get here on time. Like a damn.
Everyone, the race is on NBC. NBC, not NBCSN.
Let's chat with one of the drivers, Harrison Burton Jr. Dial him up on the radio.
Hey, Harrison, this is Dale Jr. Booth.
It says it's on NBCSN, but then if you go there, they're just showing like soccer or something like that. I think it's rugby. I think they're showing rugby over there.
Top 10s at 6 road course races this year. How do you feel about today at the Roval?
The game is at the 30th minute.
Yeah, how much information do you want throughout the race, especially at the end of these stages, as to where you are with the point situation with Jim?
Well, I like to be as informed as possible and know what I have to do so it's not surprised, right, when it does come. So, I know if he's behind me, then we're good. So I'll try and keep it as simple as that.
Repeat the Tom's heartburn turn.
Appreciate you talking to us. Good luck today in the race.
Wait, they got rid of that?
Got the Toyota onboard camera. Today you see that reverse driver camera, and he also has a side panner on the number 20 car.
Great to see how hard these drivers work, especially on these road courses, the Roval here at Charlotte. For more updates, let's go to Dave.
Well, Rick, it's funny you mentioned that because I was thinking about A.J. Allmendinger and just how much he loves this place, told us in the pre-race show. And we're going to be talking all day long about just how difficult this place is. Guess he loves a challenge, and I guess Nutrient Ag Solutions picked a good day to ride on board with him and provide us with all these great shots, Parker.
Right, Dave, we also get some great shots here of Justin Haley. Thank the Leaf Home Solutions here. And for Justin Haley coming in 24 points above the cut line and being a bit of a road course ace, you'd think they'd be very confident on this team. Well, except for two reasons why not. They finished 31st and 35th here on the Roval. For his crew chief, Alex Yance, told me we just need points. If we score those stage points, then I'll unleash him in stage 3. But our focus for the first half of this race is getting points, Marty.
Parker, an interesting dynamic for Austin Cindric, certainly one of the favorites here at the Roval today. They are the only team advanced to the round of 8, but they also know today is their last shot to get playoff points that will help them later on in the playoffs this year. So do they race for the win, or do they race for those playoff points? We'll see what happens with the 22 as the day plays out. Run.
Marty, you see that pink window net on the 22 this week? On Tuesday, it was painted pink day here at the track for Daniel Hemrick, Kurt Busch, and dozens of breast cancer survivors came and painted all the walls pink. It's a huge reminder for this month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Definitely something special and different to look at here at the Roval today.
Marcus Smith, the whole crew here at Charlotte Motor Speedway do this annually, raising awareness for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and a lot put into it. Actually, tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun with the window nets on all of the Cup cars. And there's a great story there with Kurt Busch. We will talk about that tomorrow. The field 2x2.
What happened to the Tom's heartburn turn? Did they get rid of it? I mean, obviously the turn is still there, but is it not called the heartburn turn anymore?
Now in its 4th year, I'm not sure if it's gotten any easier. 2.32 miles, as Jeff Burton put it, kind of jammed.
It doesn't feel like this is the 4th race here.
17 turns. Basically, you have 8 turns throughout the infield, and you climb the banking, a backstretch chicane, and a front stretch chicane. 67 laps. Stage 1, 20 laps. Stage 2, 20 laps. That final stage, 27 laps. So fuel window, you can go in the mid-30s. So you can run an entire stage on fuel, but when you pit, and that strategy will be important to watch, the balance of, you know, do I score points at the end of the stages, or do I fight for track position?
Different agendas for each team, and just in front of the field is the official pace car for today's race, the Toyota GR Supra. We actually had the opportunity to take those Supras around the track earlier today to get a feel for what this track's going to be like. Junior was pretty aggressive over the turtles.
Yeah. We had a little fun. Man, I was Reading on social media, people were asked one word, how would you describe the Roval? I would describe it as Frankenstein. And this is exactly what I think Marcus Smith looked like when he came up with this racetrack. And we dropped the green flag for the first race of the Roval.
So one interesting thing I'm hearing about the Roval is also how the race is started. There's a chicane on the front stretch that's run under green flag racing, but drivers, it's not used for the start of the race. They actually stay on the oval itself and use the front stretch. A difficult challenge we've seen.
Yeah, it's huge because you actually
All right, here we go.
when you approach turn one than you are at any other time in the race. So right here at the start of the race, it gets tough.
Green flag.
Race from the Charlotte Roval underway for the Xfinity Series.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. They trying to kill each other? They trying to kill each other? How'd they survive that? How did they survive that? I don't know.
Coming through 2 and into 3.
As you mentioned, Rick, we were on the track earlier today, and what jumped out about this infield section was just the lack of runoff. It feels like a street course. Walls on both sides, so any sort of issue, and there will be contact.
Just an all-guyer in the 7, trying to hold that inside spot with the 22, but it's Austin Cindric now in the 22 that is able to take the advantage. The 7 gives him a little bump there as they came out onto the big course.
We got a spinner.
Where? Oh shit, look at that man.
On to the 1.5 miles, and the 44 is around.
Look at that boy.
That's some damage on the right front fender you see right there. Car up and rolling. We'll see if he feels he can continue or have to come to pit road to work on that right front fender as we go back to the lead. This is now in the 3 and 4 banked end of the racetrack down to this front stretch chicane.
And Steve, again, the rules here, there are stopping points around the racetrack, or 2 spots on the racetrack. If they miss these chicanes, or if they do something wrong through the chicanes, they have to come to a stop.
Yeah, basically those blue turtles, the interior curbing, you have to find at least 2 tires. So you can almost completely miss the corner, but if you can just get 2 tires to go over that curbing, that means you've made the corner. If you miss it, you have to stop either in the backstretch chicane or over here in the restart zone. You only get 1 lap. If you don't stop the lap you missed it, it'll be a pass-through penalty. It'll cost you a bunch of time. Will Rogers spun in the chicane on the back straightaway, has a flat tires on pit road right now, the 26 car. As we see the leaders battling through the end.
There's no competition caution in this race. But the stages are 20 laps, 20, 20, and 27.
He comes from Hawaii. Probably a lot of stock car racing in Hawaii.
Yeah, I think there was a little contact with him in the 44. Another spinner in the infield.
Oh boy, that's going to be a caution. Yep, that's a caution.
And the cautions come out.
So that's a blind corner up over the hill, the 02. Very lucky there to be able to get stopped and not get to the door of the 48 car. We'll take a look at a replay here and see how this developed.
Is that what it's going to be like all day today? We're just going to see caution after caution? I'm down. I mean, I'm down.
Into the picture. I don't think there was any contact there.
Well, it starts right here, and that was Sage Karam that spun in the 31.
Oh, yeah, Jade was trying to get out of the way.
Something to keep in mind about that corner right there. When you're approaching that corner, it's blind. It's an elevation change right there, and you cannot see. So this is earlier. Will Rogers.
So Will had a right rear flat. And I think that happened with the 44 coming out of the infield just before they got to the back straightaway. So he had a flat tire. So this is contact. The 26 is involved in this. It's clipped right there.
Oh,
that creates the flat tire for the 26 of Will Rogers on the back straightaway. The 44 with a little damage to the right front. And now you know why all the playoff drivers are so paranoid. Chaos. Only 1 lap in.
You're watching the drive for the Cure 250 from Charlotte.
Pain happens in many forms, but that doesn't scare Blue Emu. Delivering fast-acting pain relief in a cream, spray, and lidocaine in a soft foam applicator. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink. Official partner of MLB and Nascar.
That's half the fun of the new house, seeing what people left behind in the attic.
Well, saving on homeowners insurance with Geico's help was pretty fun, too.
Oh, it's Tiny Dancer.
They left a ton of stuff up here.
Well, enjoy your house.
Nope. No, thank
Thank you.
Geico could help you save on homeowners and renters insurance.
Betty is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now, she's free to become Bear Hug Betty. Settle in, kids.
That sure I hope is gonna be there for this weekend and Monday. You should get it. You should buy that merch.
Where is everyone? Pringles have endless flavors to stack.
Hey, Gracie, tell Mom and Dad they gotta see the living quarters. They are awesome. Mom, Dad, Junior wants to show you something up on deck 3.
Hey, right now, we just started.
Don't worry, we have plenty of time.
No pressure from behind. 5 seconds.
Duke 27-24, Georgia Tech, 3 minutes left.
It's never been about racing anyone else.
You asked your dad for it. Maybe he'll get it for you. Maybe if you behave, he'll get it for you. If you're not on the naughty list.
You dream about the crazy calzone again? You also said some weird things about giraffes.
We're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. The new crazy calzone for $8.49.
Pizza. In my experience, if you work the land, you gotta be a jack of all trades. You gotta have a little bit of optimism, a little bit of idealism, and a whole lot of get-go.
You can go inside the headset with access to Nascar scanner. It's only $4.99 for the playoffs.
You're good. See, then he'll probably get it for you. If you're good, he'll probably get it for you.
NASCAR.com/scanner. You can start your subscription today.
He has no reason not to.
Back at the start of this race, it seemed like Jeff Burton, well, he was aggressive early.
Well, we talked about turn 1 and how important it's going to be into the braking zone. So you see right here, everybody looks pretty good. The 20 of Harrison, he gets checked up. Noah's like, you're going way too slow. Jam on the bottom.
Dairy Queen called me this morning, but I was asleep. And then they didn't call back. So that's weird.
See right here, watch Jeff Burton on the inside. A big aggressive move right there. His teammate cutting some slack.
Yeah, it's no longer the heartburn turn. Why is that? He said he will send me a care package. See? That's awesome. You'll probably get that in the care package.
Before the race started, he was very confident about this race and felt like his road course racing had improved a ton. So not in a bad spot right now. Needs to find his way back toward those points. For the moment, though, nice and calm, Parker.
Right, Dave and Jeff, we weren't the only ones that noticed that aggressive move by Jeff Burton. His team was discussing on the radio. Take a listen.
So let's start from turn 1. A little aggressive there.
What did they want you to think? I don't know.
Be patient, race the track. No mistakes here.
We're only on lap 4 and we're under caution. We had a caution lap 2, so that's fun. If that's a fucking sign of things to come for today, then we're gonna have a great day.
We're gonna look at the SMT data, which can show you exactly where you're braking, tell you where those markers are. Remember, Jeb has not driven a stock car here, although he did some laps in a Trans Am car. These are his first laps in a stock car around the Roval. Just trying to find those markers right now.
And we mentioned earlier the Cousins really racing right around that cut line. You look at where the line is. Jeb Burton actually above the cut line. And when they started this race, it was Harrison that was above the cut line. So making up some ground early.
Making up ground, and it'll become more clear.
You can't lose on throwback day.
Points at the end of stage
You really
1 and
can't.
Stage 2. And I really think that's changed the whole view of these races. Before, you knew coming in how many points you had to find, and you had all day to find them. Now you come in, you're 8 below. And the projected points are fine, but let's get to the end of stage 1 and say, okay, did we gain or lose relative to who we're competing against? It's really like 3 races in 1. I think you threw that out there at Talladega, Rick, and you're absolutely right. From on top of the pit box, let's just try to consume the first stage, take a deep breath, and then work on the second.
We'll be keeping our eye on this also toward the front of the field. Justin Allgaier currently scored in second, Dave.
This was the pre-race chatter from spotter Eddie DeHunt.
Let's go over real quick what I can see, what need your help with. Around turn 1 is some banners for a short period. Turn 1 towards turn 2. And then on the infield there in turn 3 from building to building. Those are the only 2 areas I really can't see very well.
talked about blind spots. The help spotter will be Justin's dad, Mike. He's the one that fills in, and Eddie Hunt just said, when I stop talking, you start talking.
Getting ready for the restart now. It's Cindric and Allgaier making up that front row again.
All right, back green.
Restart zone, up through the gears, and back at it here at Charlotte.
Are they gonna die? Are they gonna die? Are they gonna die? And will it be hilarious? No, they are fine.
Two stay side by side through 1 and 2. Daniel Hemrick in the 18. That pink 18 just behind these two. Looking for his first ever win in Xfinity Series.
I don't like Syndic. He can wear the pink window net all he wants. I don't like him. Even though I love the pink window net.
Pretty incredible the leaders being able to run side by side this far into the restart.
He got the shirt for you.
Good wide racetrack. You want to try to get single file here. If you come off here side by side, you're going to lose all your momentum. Allgaier with a big problem right there. Got really tight on corner exit. Found the first corner you can't go through side by side. So on the outside. It's a heavy braking zone here, Junior. This is the place.
Oh, Allgaier. Allgaier.
Wow. Really, really careful there. Almost got to the back of the leader, the 22 car. Wonder though if he did any damage.
Why is there so much smoke
very big wheel hop, very hard
on the backstretch?
Back into the race car. Great right there, the wheels are bouncing up and down on the racetrack. You see the black marks it's leaving.
Jersey's $60, but the shirt is $20.
Only a driver will spin out when he does that. Did a great job saving it. Not only that, but I'm telling you, it beats the rear end housing, the yoke, it's the gear, the axles, drive plates, all of that. Just it was all rear locked up, no front. Holy crap. I'm sorry.
Great assessment by Justin Allgaier. All rear lockup. Front tires were still rolling. The rears were locked up and smoking. Noah Gregson's just behind him in the 9. He was pretty aggressive coming into the front chicane. He got a little bit sideways, trying to gain.
Why does Eddie DeHaan always sound so miserable?
Allgaier off his rhythm. He's trying to figure out whether he needs to make any adjustments.
Reset now. Long way to go. We're in a good place right here. Reset.
That's great information to calm him down. He's got a lot of anxiety. Does he need to make adjustments to the brake bias? Do I need to do anything to the car? What's he going to do in this next braking zone down here where we had that trouble?
But he can feel what it did to those rear tires. He said it just killed my rear tires. Spotter said, I can imagine.
That's Eddie DeHaan we heard earlier, the calming voice on the radio for Justin Allgaier. Everyone able to get through and negotiate this back chicane. And once again, you see a little smoke out of the 9 of Noah Gregson.
Right on board here, right around this racetrack with the 11 car, Justin Haley down into turn 1. Get more smoke up there. Continuing to see the lockup issues with the JR Motorsports cars. Through turn 2, downhill. Now it gets really loose. The car goes over to the left front, gets really loose right there. Into turn 4, a really fun corner, but you cross over this curve right here, lose all rear grip just for a second. I think coming right here to turn 5. This is the part of the racetrack we just saw that incident where people could not see. See how blind it is? You cannot see anything ahead of you. Big elevation change, now downhill, back uphill, and now you're going to make a left, a hard left, and now you're driving into oval turn 1. Car does not drive well transitioning onto the banking of turn 1, and now down the back straightaway. And we saw that big lockup from Allgaier a little while ago. Look at the numbers on the right side of the wall. 8, 7, 6, 5. Those are your braking points. That's what drivers are going to use to determine when to start braking. 2 big curves right here on the entrance to the chicane. No curves on exit. You can be creative, use a lot of room here, go wherever you want. Into NASCAR 3 and 4. A couple different approaches to this final chicane. You come in here really low and short. You can get out wide for a little bit more braking zone, a little bit more straight line braking. See some lock up again from the 7 car. 2 big curves right here. Justin Allgaier in big trouble battling that race car.
And once again, the Burtons are together. And they've said this before. 2 weeks ago when we talked to them, they said, you know what? It always seems like we end up racing near each other and against each other. And once again now, it almost comes down to these two for that final spot
out as we see more smoke.
Oh, Allgaier has a lot of damage.
We've seen the 7 with lots of break-up.
That might be a caution, honestly.
We've seen him wheel hop and we've seen the fronts locked up. Now, big damage.
How did he get that damage?
Oh, he got really loose getting that corner.
Oh, boy.
The left side tires turned to the right. He said he got really loose. Watch it right here. He's out of the groove. But he talked about, Junior, he was having brake issues. And there is no racetrack where brakes are more important than a road course. You have to have good braking.
Now, at this point, the 7 has to decide, do they need to pit? Is there too much damage to continue? It looks to me like I don't know how that right rear tire will survive. I think with the points position that Allgaier's in, he just needs to come in.
You need to clean that camera, dude.
That's Jason Burdett said, pit this time, just get the fender off the tire. This is a huge racetrack. 90-second lap times, 85-second lap times. So there's a lot of time for the 7. You see the 22 on the bottom of your screen serving a penalty. He must have missed one of those chicanes. We'll go back and review that. But here's the 7, a playoff driver on pit road making reviews. Let's take a look at the 22.
Oh, yeah, the 22 cut that corner. Wake Forest 3-6, Syracuse. I should be there right now.
In the restart zone on the same lap in which he missed the chicane.
He did that and had enough of a lead that he's actually still in second in this race.
A lot of damage on this 7 car.
I literally should be there right now, so.
The show saying just how good the playoffs have been so far for Justin Allgaier. Finished second and then third in the first 2 races. That has given him a little bit of a cushion, but now they have to return from here and collect some points on the day. This will more than likely put them a lap down as they try to get it right before they head back out.
So watch what Cindric did. Okay, you mentioned it. He didn't lose that much track position. So the rule is you have to stop on the front straightaway to serve the penalty. Watch what he did. He knows he's going to miss it. Right here, he knows he's going to miss it. What does he do? He throttles up. He just carries as much speed through there as he can, drives to the front straightaway, and then serves his penalty. That way he's lost as little time as possible.
It was a stop and go. He did it. He's currently second. This telecast presented by Blue Emu.
We took the truck that helped build this country and made it so it can power our homes. We took the vehicles businesses use to keep the lights on and made them run on the same thing that turns the lights on. We took the original 0 to 60 head turner and gave it 0 tailpipe emissions. We took the familiar and made it revolutionary.
A lot of people think dealing with COPD is a walk in the park. If I have something to help me breathe better, everything would be fun and nice. But I still have bad days, flare-ups, which can permanently damage my lungs. My lungs need protection against flare-ups. So, it's time to get real. Because in the real world, our lungs deserve the real protection of Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and flare-up protection. It's the first and only COPD medicine proven to reduce flare-ups by 52%.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before
Duke
taking
down 30 to 27, 25 seconds up. They can just try for a field goal.
Thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor
Unless they don't have the ball.
Chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
For real protection, ask your doctor about Breztri.
Okay, I'm up. 5 more minutes. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Gonna go listen to the game.
I need to try it first.
Good times here, and more good times to come.
Monday Night Raw. Live Mondays at 8 on USA.
BC. Josh Allen, the 3-1 Bills are going to visit Patrick Mahomes and the 2-2 Chiefs. That coverage starting at 7 p.m. Eastern with Football Night in America. What a battle. Again, rematch of last year's AFC Championship game, which was won by...
Oh, there's a caution.
The caution has just come out here as Greg Gaulding has stopped in the backstretch chicane. The MR safety team.
How long was that caution out for?
And checking on that, looks like they're going to push him back to pit road. Take a look at what happened.
Yeah, I missed that caution for 30 seconds.
The braking zones,
What's up, Jaden? How's it going?
Smoke. I don't know if it's a driveline failure or an engine failure, but something would allow him to continue.
Almost looks like right there. His wheels are locked up, but look at it as it continues in there.
How's it going, JD boy?
See right there, all the marks.
Yeah. They think they're going to push this car back, but I'm not sure it's going to roll.
So the tow truck gets behind him. They'll try to push him back to the infield, and we'll be back. We'll restart.
A lot of people.
Pretty good. I'm doing awesome. I mean, I wish I was at the dome right now. I should be at the game right now.
Fun and nice. But I still have bad days, flare-ups, which can permanently damage my lungs. My lungs need protection against flare-ups. So, it's time to get real. Because in the real world, our lungs deserve the real protection of Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and flare-up protection. It's the first and only COPD medicine proven to reduce flare-ups by 52%.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or heart failure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
For real protection, ask your doctor about Breztri.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language. And she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Innovation usually looks something like this. But what if it didn't? What if it looked like a family truck that powers a family home? Or an ordinary drive made extraordinary? Let's change what innovation looks like. From floating around in your own personal space capsule up here to what we can build for all Americans down here.
I need to try it first.
The second caution of the day for the Xfinity Series here at the Charlotte Roval. Right along with AJ Allmendinger and Ag Solutions. Bumper cam. Pretty good perspective there as they make their way through the ovals, turns 3 and 4. And Daniel Hemrick is out in front. You see
Fucking.
him with the pink number 18.
How many races have Daniel Hemrick led that he's not won? Well, every race that he's led, he hasn't won. But how many races has he looked like he's going to win?
To come onto pit road here.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't see more pitters from here. I believe you can stretch the fuel to make it to the end of stage 2. So this is an option for those guys that needed a few stage points to pit now. Because I believe there's going to be a wave of green flag pit stops at the end of the stage. But leaders must not agree with me. Crew chiefs on pit road, they're going to stay on the racetrack, keep that track position. Now, I will say, it's easy to say come to pit road and work that whole strategy, but then you get in the back of this mess. And maybe they just don't feel it's safe enough to be back there on these restarts, Dave.
Daniel Hemrick leading in the 18 car. His spotter's Tony Hirschman and crew chief is Dave Rogers. They had a discussion on Channel 2 about Hemrick being too aggressive on the turtles, and then they told Hemrick.
Yeah, I think we're too hard right now. Okay, I agree. Listen, you're definitely being more aggressive on entry, going over the blue turtles, back stretch chicane, front stretch chicane. So, it's nice and easy. Take care of your stuff here.
Those turtles are certainly inbounds, right, guys? But they can have an effect on this car over time.
Okay, so turtles, it's become a popular name. So basically you have the curbing. You see the red and white curbing. But the blue, much taller curbing on the inside. You see it right here. The goal is to not hit that. There's a better shot. You're going to run over that red and white all the time. You see the black marks on the blue. You can hit it at times, drivers. But those are, what, 4, 5, 6 inches tall? We were out there earlier, Jeff. You were afraid to even touch it with a pace car. They're so tall.
Well, let's see when a race car hits on what it looks like. And this is why they were saying to Daniel, hey, look, man, right, maybe not this early in the race to be on these turtles. There may be speed there, but watch Daniel Hemrick as he drives in the corner early in the race. Watch what it does to the race car.
Jaden, who you got winning today? Oh, and I need to do my fantasy picks.
And that puts a tremendous amount
Oh, I still need to post the results from last week too.
It just puts tons of force through those lower control arms, the ball joints, all that front suspension, and we've seen damage created by these turtles on this racetrack. So early in the race, let's try to stay away from them.
Let's get this straight, though. Steve, you said that Jeff was a little bit nervous about going over those turtles when we were in the Super Pace car earlier. Junior, on the other hand, I was about 3 feet in the air. I was in the passenger side, and he was hitting them like he wanted to jump them.
Ooh, I want Talladega.
I was in sport mode going at a high rate of speed.
Okay. Okay. Well, NASCAR Drive, that is your live race day companion. You can follow your favorite drivers all race long. High-definition in-car cameras. Visit NASCAR.com/drive, or you can download the NASCAR mobile app today. And, yeah, it's a shell, so I think that was Corey LaJoy that went out there one night and decided, I'm going to make this into the Ninja Turtles.
So I'm going to tell you that's not a very good ninja because that's not hidden. I mean, that turtle is the one you're going to hit. No doubt.
Yeah. Marcus, like Frankenstein, he has a sense of humor, too.
So once again, field 2x2. It's Hemrick and Cindric now in row 1.
All right, back green.
A little bit more speed here into turn 1.
Who dies? Who dies? Who dies? No one dies. No one dies. You're gonna win the race. You think so?
They stay side by side for third. It's Brandon Jones in the 19 and Noah Gregson in the 9.
A little bit of damage to the right front headlight on the 9 car. Shouldn't be a problem. They coast up the hill in turn 5 into turn 6.
Surprising right behind those two.
I gotta do my fantasy picks.
Of A.J. Allmendinger, a 2-time winner here at the Roval.
Remember with that issue that he had at Talladega, that big impact, he had to start a little further back than perhaps we have seen him. Up to the 5th position, on board with Allmendinger right here. And as we're on board the 0-2 of Brett Moffitt had to go to the garage. He was smoking from some earlier damage.
AJ's going to outbrake into this zone. He's got the preferred line down into the inside.
Monster cars side by side.
Dick, Steve talked about the 16 progressing from 12th to 4th now, and he got this kind of advice that Steve Letarte would give his driver. We don't need to bend even one fender, he was told, coming up through here. Be careful. It'll come to you, and it certainly has on this stage.
Patience. I know 67 laps doesn't seem like a lot, but you won the last 2 races here. You're the favorite. Act like it. Don't push the issue. Just be patient.
Steve, before the end of the stage, 2 laps before the end of the stage, they will close pit road. So are we going to see drivers about 3 laps from now? Are we going to see them diving onto pit road under green flag conditions?
I believe you are. The big question is, can you afford to pit?
Jaden thinks he's going to win the race, which I see as highly unlikely because Jaden is not even in North Carolina right now. And even if he was, he's not in the race currently. So for him to be in the race, like if he were to start the race right now, he would be 15 laps down. So I see, I don't think Jaden's going to win today.
That's the interesting debate, and Steve, you bring up a terrific point. If you're Brian Wilson, crew chief for Austin Cindric, you know that today is your last shot to get a playoff point, and that could help you in the next round, and maybe...
But I just posted my picks for tomorrow, Jaden.
So, sitting here in stage 1, does Wilson pit his driver, or do they go for that playoff point? Last shot to get it, as I mentioned, Steve.
Oh, the 92's around.
If the 92 goes off track.
Yeah, Josh Williams,
but he's fine.
The 92.
That's on the back straightaway chicane for Josh. The car turned around and headed in the right direction.
You know what I like better than 1 playoff point for a stage win? 5 playoff points for a race win, as we see what happened in the 92. You called it, Junior, that back
What's up, Kenneth? How you doing? You watching some racing today? And everyone, the race is on NBC, not NBCSN. It says that it's on NBCSN, but on NBCSN they're showing like soccer or some shit. So I think rugby actually.
Probably isn't as good or efficient on road courses as the driver behind him.
The driver behind him also
So it's on NBC.
he is, but Daniel Hemrick has become a very solid road racer. A few years ago, the year before he went cup racing, he turned the corner in the Xfinity series and started running up front on road courses. Wasn't able to get the wins, but started running up front. So
let's see what the NBC SD channel looks like.
I'm not surprised to see him toward the front.
You saw that statistic there, over 118 races that he has not been able to find victory lane. One of the things that Daniel Hemrick has done in his racing career that I selfishly would like to see again.
Oh my god.
He backflips.
So I have the NBC SD channel and the NBC HD channel. The SD channel looks so bad.
Well, that's what Daniel Hemrick will do if he can get to victory lane. I'd like to see that again.
We learned how to do that right here. The front straightaway, so he spent a lot of time at this racetrack in a completely different race car on the quarter mile, but he has a ton of time on this facility.
It'll be interesting to see just how good this car is over the course of a run. It has good early run speed, but we know that that 22 car could be back there just taking care of the tires, taking care of the car in the braking zone. See if that pace pays off in the end.
Well, if I'm Austin Cindric, maybe not this time because he's so close to the leader, he can wait one more lap. But in the next 2 laps, I'm coming to pit road before the end of the stage. Work a little strategy. I know it's only one position, but you don't want to get casual with this and give up strategy. We saw A.J. Allmendinger with one of the dominant cars at the Xfinity Indy road course, and he didn't do that. He stayed on the track, other cars pitted, and that ended up costing him the chance to win. He could just never catch Cindric as the race wound down.
And Steve, the reason for pitting under green before the end of the stage, because you're only going to have to pit one more time?
Well, yeah, it's just like pitting at the end of the stage, except for you don't lose a lap here. So what you do,
Duke missed a touchdown, lose 31-27 to Georgia Tech, and are 0-2 in the ACC. And they've only played 2 games. How bad is the SD channel? I'll send you a comparison picture. I'll take a picture of the HD, and then
That's the difference in lap times you see from 1st to 10th, the 1st to 5th at a short track. We got a lot of cars coming to pit road, trying to take advantage of getting on the pit road before the end of the stage break. Getting on the pit road before the end of the stage break.
So now all of these cars that are on pit road currently, there's 5 of them. If you don't pit this next time by, you're going to restart.
And with Fios TV 1 Mini,
oh my
you can
fucking
connect
God.
wirelessly and put your TVs almost anywhere in your home. No cable outlets needed.
No, fuck off.
Upgrade to Fios TV 1 today.
I don't want to watch this shitty ass movie.
Set your tech free with Verizon Fios.
Service is the norm for the Roval.
Oh, it actually doesn't show up that well on camera, like how. But it's like, it's just a lot more blurry.
There you go, opposite the 18. So the 18
Like, I don't get why anyone would ever watch on the SD channel.
That stage. If the 18 stays on the racetrack, the 22 will come to pit road. So right here, we're going to see a split decision. The 18 gets to decide first, so as they come out of the banking of turn 4, the 18 looks to me like he's staying on the racetrack, so the 22 is going to come to pit road. Yep, heavy brake.
Oh, you're talking about the just the conference games.
Give up stage points, try to work that strategy to win the race. But for the rest of the field, the
Alright, so Syndic is pitting.
has now closed pit road, so no one else has this opportunity, Marty.
I'm shocked 4 cars have not taken advantage of coming to pit road here, but here comes Austin Cindric down to his pit stall. And the thought was they were going to go for the stage points here in stage 1, trying to get that playoff point and then flip stage 2. But you heard the radio conversation a moment ago. Do the opposite of the 18. Daniel Hemrick stays on the track. Austin Cindric coming down pit road here. So, again, giving up the playoff points here, but they'll have the advantage once stage 2 starts.
And I think Marty said it the best. I understand the playoff guys that are racing for points, but there's 15 or 20 other cars that were within the window of time to the leader that came to get it. Could have come to pit road and just chose not to. I think that's a missed opportunity by a lot of these teams to try to get a little track position.
2 cars obviously staying on the track to get
You're heated. Oh yeah, because that's your team.
Oh, look, contact right there between some cars trying to
No, that 15 car is fucked.
The track bar breaks, the rear end is not controlled left to right. There you see the track bar dragging the ground.
And then, yeah, you see right there contact. And the next for the 22 is going to try to...
You want the Carolina Railhawks, aka North Carolina FC, to win?
He was right off pit road, the 22.
Here's Chris Wright again, the 27-year-old from Wexford, Pennsylvania.
So final lap of stage 1 here.
Yeah, definitely something broke. Onto pit road here. If he can get all the way back around.
There's Jed Burton and Harrison in the 20 car right in front as they try to...
All right, caution's out. That's going to end the stage.
Caution comes out with 1 to go in the stage.
Chris Wright, he had a bunch of issues.
15 once again. Chris Wright not able to stay up to speed. Rolling around the racetrack.
You see the bar hanging down. That's the track bar Dale Jr. mentioned. The left side has become disconnected, either broken or...
So that caution will end the stage. Daniel Hemrick is going to win stage number 1.
Brake cooling, hose hanging down. There's all kinds of issues going on in the back of that car.
When you saw the throwback jerseys, you almost cried.
He'll get the win for the stage.
And then the Burton battle.
Like happy tears or sad tears?
Unfortunately for Jeb, he actually loses 1 more point to Harrison.
See Harrison Burton shutting the car off, saving a little fuel.
See that? Those notes. The top left corner of his windshield. That's just some notes for his pit road information, where he is on pit road.
Jed Burton,
some plays.
Jeb would have loved to have had a couple more opportunities and a few braking zones to finish out that last lap. Let's listen to some 10 radio.
Hi, buddy. 10-4. It's 20 laps in. We haven't even had a chance to work on it. I can already tell the frustration here, boys. So you're going to have to settle in, calm down. We still got 48 laps to go, so give us a chance here.
And you listen to the driver, getting some coaching. Try to keep your head in this game. It's easy to do. You get frustrated behind. The car is frustrating you with every corner you take. It's not doing everything you want it to do. That frustration builds corner after corner, lap after lap, and it's great to have somebody on the radio trying to keep your head in the game.
8-stage win for Daniel Hemrick as he crosses the start-finish line with the green and white checkered flag waving. The first stage of the elimination race complete, and the Battle of Burtons goes to Harrison for stage 1.
They looked so sexy. So sexy that you cried. It's not exactly the old jersey, but it has the hawk over the rails badge. I mean, how much can you really have much of a throwback jersey? Like in MLS, like, can you really have a throwback jersey? The league's only been around for 25 years. Yeah, it was 1996, right? When the MLS was invented.
La Brea, new Tuesday 9, 8 Central on NBC.
Ask your neighbors, ask your friends, even check social media. Call Charles Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical for all your service needs. That's Charles, 457-6911. And remember, we're the nice guys.
We're the nice guys.
This year's Billy Whitaker Cars 200 sales event is bigger and better. More prizes. What will you choose? A Chromebook, smart TV, or a chance to grab my cash? Billy Whitaker's, be good to go.
At Marvin, we make more than just windows and doors.
Not exactly.
We make fresh breezes and nightlights, relaxing retreats, open invitations, and peace of mind. At Marvin, we make windows and doors inspired by how you live, so you're inspired to live well.
Visit Liverpool Lumber and see their Marvin Windows showroom today.
Columbus still stands a year after the mayor said he's coming down.
Election day is a zero concern or consideration.
NBC3 working for you with a leading Syracuse report that explains why no decision and what happens next. Sunday at 11.
Ask your neighbors, ask your friends, even check social media. Call Charles Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical for all your service needs. That's Charles, 457-6911. And remember, we're the nice guys.
Join me for Today in Central New York, first at 4 a.m.
NASCAR on ABC is brought to you by
You can only have designs? What's that mean?
credit card at NASCAR. Visit GoCredit1.com. Ford. Feel Ford proud. And by Blue Emu Microphone, the official pain relief foam of NASCAR. Soft on skin, strong on pain.
It's a busy time for the leaders again. Pits are open now. Conceivably, people could stay on the racetrack and do this entire race in one stop, but you know the tires will slow down a little over a second, so you think that would be pretty much a challenge for the leaders. Let's see though. It's me, and they are all coming to pit road. Dave.
And you see at the top of your screen, the leader, Daniel Hemrick. He does decide to pit turns 4 and turn 8 are where he wants the crew chief to call for a chassis adjustment. He'll change 4 Goodyear tires, add Sunoco fuel to this race car. In the middle, A.J. Allmendinger said lateral is coming to me, but it's shattering the rears a bit. So we can make it a
Goal, North Carolina. This is the only North Carolina event I'm watching today.
Dave Allen's veteran crew chief making the call. Hey, we're not going to fix that damage right here because we need to keep track position. We need stage points here in stage 2. Gregson will leave pit road, gaining 1 spot. Hemrick holds on to the lead.
You see Brandon Jones grab 3 spots on pit road. Allmendinger loses 2 positions.
Patterns. So is it what their jerseys like used to look like, or what?
Who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. Lucia, who announces her intentions even if no one's there.
Because in baseball, when they do a throwback jersey, they literally just bring out like the old jersey that they used to wear. Like the Red Sox pull out a jersey that they actually wore from like the 1900s. Well, not like literally the same jersey, but like the same exact design.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Hi, welcome to Sonic. May I take your order? 2 Sonic grilled cheese double burgers.
I'm on it.
Order up.
Sonic grilled cheese double burger ready for pickup.
It is I, Casio's God of Cashback. Is that the Credit One Bank Platinum Rewards card?
Yeah.
So you are earning 5% cashback rewards by filling up your chariot with vehicular ambrosia.
Yeah?
For your fiancé, I bestow upon thee a gift.
A goat.
Your goat.
Get 5% cashback rewards. Visit GoCredit1.com.
Syracuse score 14-3. Yeah, I could be there.
I need to try it first.
You don't become the official partner of MLB and NASCAR if you aren't the strongest and the fastest. Blue Emu's unique formula with emu oil offers relief when you're training to win. Blue Emu Super Strength works fast and won't stick. Official partner of MLB and NASCAR.
They should kill him right now.
It's a lie.
Doesn't make any sense.
What exactly are the rules for supernaturally possessed dogs?
Anyone who's told the truth about Chuck, he's either been put away or worse.
He wants to give you a hug.
Everyone around you died.
He is trying to kill us.
We have to find him and kill him.
We're in this together.
Together.
That's what I said.
All right, going underway for stage 2. 2-2 Carolina fucked it. All right, stage 2 is underway. If anyone's gonna crash here, can it be Syndic?
Smoke out of the tires for the 61 of Austin Hill. And Daniel Hemrick already up to 3rd. Noah Gregson damage to the right front of the number 9. They chose not to fix that. Wanted to make sure they had track position. They want to be in position so that they can gain stage points at the end of stage 2.
car, but I do like the call. You know, I mean, get back there in traffic, you could easily get more damage. So I know it's not optimal, but keep them up front and have a chance of having a nice solid run in this second stage.
Marty.
Yeah, Rick, after further review, that damage on the right front of the 9 is maybe a little more significant than we thought. But, Steve, I'd love to get your take on it. Look at that seam right there where the hood is. And, look, you can actually see a giant hole in the right front as well. So Dave Ellens, veteran crew chief, made that decision. Hey, let's not fix it here. Let's keep that track position. But he plans to fix it at the end of stage 2. They thought the points available in the stage too valuable to take the time to fix it now. You agree?
Well, I definitely wouldn't have fixed it now because it finished stage 1 without an issue. And as fast as the 9 is currently, I'm not sure I would take time to fix it at the end of stage 2. I would just assess how the second stage goes. If the car has speed, which is looking really good as it attacks the rear bumper, the 18 of Daniel Hemrick in front of him, maybe don't even take the time then. I'm sure Dave Ellens will reassess after seeing how competitive he is.
And knowing Noah Gragson, this is probably how he prefers his car to look.
Yeah.
It's probably making him go after these guys with a little more tenacity. A couple battle scars on that number 9 car. Doesn't mind him.
A little more pizzazz, right? A little more flash.
Likes to be the showman.
Really aggressive on that restart. We'll see over the time if the pace in that car is able to stay there. If not, maybe they do make some adjustments. Tape up a few holes, actually. Probably at a minimum work they'll be able to do.
And that's usually where the downforce shows up, Junior, to your point, right?
I'll send you the highlights of the throwback game when you're finished.
On the tires, if the front end stops working, that would be a telltale sign that it is a downforce.
Carolina fucked it again. Well, that's probably not going to be a very good thing.
At speed, is it going to do more damage to the body?
Nah, these composite bodies are pretty good. I don't think it would tear apart more, if that's what you're asking. My bigger concern is just make sure he knows it's damaged. So if you're going to hit somebody, try not to do it with the right front fender. Oh, a slide.
Oh, that was close.
Stephen Parsons in a 78.
Spoke to Stephen Parsons this morning, and he said he never.
Noah Gragson has some damage, but he seems fine.
Somebody a few years ago, but just almost no experience on road courses. Looking forward to this opportunity.
He's another one who, like Hemrick, has ran hundreds and hundreds of laps in Legends cars on the little quarter mile on the front stretch, but has not
2 goals in 3 minutes. That probably doesn't happen very often. I have a feeling that's pretty rare.
We see that damage on the 9. Again, Noah Gragson holding on to the 4th spot, still chasing after Cindric and Mayer. Hemrick running 3rd. Allmendinger is 5th after losing some spots on pit road. Haley, Preston Pardis is running up in the top 7 right now. Preston, son of Dan Pardis, and a very established Miata Series driver now.
So tomorrow, what I'll be streaming is the Cup race and then the Red Sox. The Cup race is at 2. The Red Sox is at 4. So just whenever the race ends, I'll turn on the Red Sox game, and then we'll just watch the rest of it from there.
Just simple up shifts. As you build heat in the brakes, if you don't do that little pump action, you have a little bit longer pedal, meaning the pedal engages or the brakes engage deeper into the throw of the pedal. And that, as that's moving around, it's difficult to know how to use the brakes. So you pump them up for every deep braking zone so that the brakes are the same. They're identical every time you go to apply them.
When you guys get in your street cars, do you use your left foot to brake or your right foot to brake?
I drive this way in a race car, but on the street, I brake with my right foot. I don't know why, but I can't do the opposite, right? I can't just brake.
We'll be there for all? Hell yeah.
You paid attention during driving school. I did not.
But I won't be streaming the Astros White Sox tomorrow. I'm going over to Dom's after the Red Sox for Sunday Night Football.
I grew up racing go-karts, and I always left foot brakes.
Here comes Allmendinger in that 16 to the inside of the 9 of Noah Gragson.
That's a move up.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty simple.
And we heard earlier on the radio for Allmendinger, just keep the car clean. No dents, no problems with it. You're going to move forward.
And that's the same thing for Haley behind the 9 car there. Haley was, he was in jeopardy coming into this race. And every little point that he gets in his first 2 stages stage definitely makes him much more comfortable to take a few more risks with the race car in that third and final stage.
Look at the points.
Fox Sunday Night Football.
Really, the two that are
Syracuse 14-10 Wake Forest.
in the 8 are Harrison Burton and Jeff Burton.
Dom was like, you should be scared of this Wake Forest team. But, like, it looks like we don't have to be scared of them. Looks like he'll be crying if I'm not streaming the Astros. Don't cry. I've got a life, too.
Driving left side, driving right side, driving right side. Watch this idiot. He's over driving at entry, any hole you give him. Driving back left side, left side. Barely, still barely, still barely. Still there, still there. Still there, still there. We're chasing you around. Be smart. He's already done. Don't let him hurt your day. Be smart.
And that has been the theme of the day on the radio for Jeff Burton. Just be smart, race the racetrack. But I think that spotting almost sounded a little bit like a super speedway form of spotting, Dave.
Oh, that was awesome. Tyler Green would be the spotter in Harrison Burton's ear today. And the conversation back and forth has been about how Harrison's car was not working well in either direction. And so he was told by crew chief Dave Rogers that they would work on the right-hand turns on that pit stop. They made an air pressure adjustment. And
Your life is entertaining me. You didn't watch my vlogs. You only watch the Panthers? I just kind of watch whatever's on. I want to watch the Patriots more, but it's kind of hard. They're not nationally broadcasted as much anymore.
This next step for me is for every kid out there with a dream. You will face challenges.
So what made you an Astros fan?
No matter what. Keep pushing.
I need a Mocha Crunch blast, please. You got it. I'm on the Mocha Crunch. We're gonna need more espresso chunks. Order up. Sonic Mocha Crunch blast. Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead.
I honestly don't know what made me an Astros fan. Well,
Yeah? Well, mine's always got my back.
Okay, chill. Mine's faster than hard drive.
ow!
Okay, that's fast.
Speed? My internet's so fast, it keeps up with me.
Yep, that's because you all have the same internet. Xfinity X5. So powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
Can the internet do that?
USAA is made for the safe pilots. For Mac, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. Lucia, who announces her intentions even if no one's there.
Oh, the 07's blowing up. That might be a caution, actually. That's probably going to be a caution. Because Orlando City used to have a second team called Orlando City B, but the team was so shit they folded. Yeah, you can't have a second. Yep, that's a caution.
I need to try it first.
Yeah.
The legendary playoffs return to Fort Worth. 17 years of NASCAR showdowns have delivered side-by-side duels, championship slugfests, Texas heartbreak, and championship 4 tickets punched.
So the caution's out. Last season they played, total points obtained was 4. Holy shit. That's like, like that's bad. Yeah, I bet you could put a college team out there and they probably score more than that. And they could do that. They could do more than that.
Football on NBC and Peacock. You're watching the drive for the Cure 250 from the Charlotte Roval, and that's Josh Malicki. We talked about the flight canceled from Chicago last night, drove all the way through the night.
You know what I think would be really interesting to see would be like a college football game, or just like a football game, obviously, but like the best college football team plays the worst NFL team. I think that could be really fun. Man, that was a hard crash.
Because we were out there earlier and said, we didn't think those curbs would do quite that much damage.
I mean, it's like the splitter went underneath the curb. And
That was a hard crash.
Ripped the curb off the racetrack and then ripped the front end off the race car.
Yeah, I'm having Indy road course flashbacks watching that happen.
Yeah, to your point, the curb itself went with him. Yeah, he picked up the entire curb.
So the tracks, what do they do? Do they fix that or just...
It was bolted down prior to that car coming through.
Oh, so that might be a delay.
Yeah, so see how low the car is, and right there, it just digs underneath the...
Yeah, they might delay that.
It digs underneath the curb and just destroys the car.
So I think he was out of brakes. I mean, he passed two
Look at the
cars
title.
there. Josh Bilicki's an experienced driver, so I want to believe he had a mechanical issue that forced him to abort left. Let's listen in.
Pitch Invader plays in goal. What's up with that title? That doesn't seem like a very... I thought the title was going to be like something like really sus. It was just a normal video title.
No idea that was going to happen. Steve, you said it. We were out there, in the pace car earlier, and we looked at those curves, and we were like, they're not that bad. They'll be okay. Not like Indy.
Brakes just went to the floor, and that was that.
Oh, there you go. Brakes went to the floor. That was it. So, Jeff, I'm laughing because you literally said that. You drove, you looked left, and you said, well, that's nothing like Indy. And I was like, yeah, you're right, Jeff. That'd be no problem. You see the bolts there left, Rick.
And I talked about it earlier. The drivers pump the brakes as they drive around this track up to the braking zones. And you continue to pump those brakes because that temperature builds in the fluid and the brake gets longer and longer. And eventually, at some point, you go in some of these cars without great cooling.
Yeah, they're going to have to repair that.
Or a brake issue, you go into that braking zone and start pumping it, and the brake never comes up. The brake pedal never gets stronger, and you continue to pump that pedal, and it goes right to the floor, and then you're into the corner. That's what happened to the 7 car.
You see what they've got to do? They've got to cut these bolts out because if a car ran over that, it would just flatten the tires. I got to tell you guys, I don't even know why those curves are there. I mean, honestly, there's a rule. If you go, if you're on the wrong side of the curves, there's a penalty. I'm not even sure why we put these penalty curves in there just to destroy the racetrack. And also
hey, I think it's fun.
I think it's something we need to look at. I don't know the advantage of having those curves there.
And Steve, I think we both saw right away that DeWalt tools came out here. That's what they see in the billboard or the wall when they go into turn number 1. But what a ride for Josh Bilicki as he goes right through.
A lot of people think dealing with COPD is a walk in the park. If I have something to help me breathe better, everything would be fun and nice. But I still have bad days, flare-ups, which can permanently damage my lungs. My lungs need protection against flare-ups. So, it's time to get real. Because in the real world, our lungs deserve the real...
They're going to have to repair that.
gives you better breathing.
I'm not sure if they're going to stop the race.
It's the first
or how long it's even going to take.
COPD medicine proven to reduce flare-ups by 52%.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
For real protection, ask your doctor about Breztri.
Who y'all rooting for? I'm rooting for Justin Haley, but I think AJ Allmendinger's gonna win.
Big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson, like really loves.
Little Caesar's new crazy calzone, Julienne pepperoni. It's so tasty, garlic white sauce. Here comes the bite. Here comes the dream about the crazy calzone again?
You also said some weird things about giraffes.
We're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. The new crazy calzone for $8.49. Pizza.
Here's a good Halloween trick. Buy a bunch of Reese's. There you go. Turn off all the lights in your house. Yeah.
And then don't answer the door.
Sorry, Reese's.
Don't miss 3 all-new episodes
You like Noah? I like Noah too.
I want to bring them back to Chicago. Just breathe. You can't eat, you can't sleep. Everybody's ripping her apart. I don't think you know the woman you're sleeping next to.
An all-new Chicago Wednesday on NBC.
Under the fourth caution for the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs in Charlotte. Telecast presented by Blue Emu. And they are working on the bolts that were holding down that curbing that was on the inside of the racetrack even before you got to that backstretch chicane. And so they're now cutting away the exposed bolts.
Damn.
And a lot of that will continue here. A lot of bolts that were holding.
All right, so they have stopped the race.
Start your Tundra. NASCAR fans, you could be one of the first to drive off in the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra. All you have to do, visit NASCAR.com/startyourtundra, and you enter now. Pretty cool to be the first to be driving that 2022 Tundra. So the track crew is going to go to work here. Red flag conditions, so they've stopped the cars on the racetrack.
I mentioned the flashbacks. I
wonder how long it's gonna take.
Take a look at some of the.
Hopefully not too long, but I don't know. Looks like they got one of them taken off there pretty quickly. They're trying to remove the bolts from the track that held down those little fucking bumpy things.
Just put there to try to keep drivers on the right side of the racetrack.
So they're removing those right now.
There's a penalty if you're on the wrong side of the curbs, and
so the repeated damage to the issue we had in Indy.
Dude, these road courses bring out the dumbest delays. They're removing bolts that held down one of those yellow things. A car hit it and totally annihilated it, so they're having to remove those bolts. I don't know if they're going to replace it, but it's a whole fucking thing.
really not necessary, guys. I agree. I think that we can learn from this, right, and make a decision and just say, hey, get these things out of the way. It's no need to have a double penalty.
Josh Bilicki took care of those. He got those out of the way. The fans around here have so many different areas to watch the race from, and Rutledge Wood, I think
I like them. I like those little rumble strips or those like little fucking death tools. I think it's fun. It make big crashes. I like big crashes.
Dad taught me when I was learning how to drive. The most important rule is don't hit any.
You're not in the lead, Jaden. Syndic is in the lead. I wish you were in the lead. I wish you were in the lead right now, because that means that Syndic wouldn't. Jaden, you're not even in the fucking race. Jaden, if you were in the race right now, how would you be commenting? Well, I mean, we are under a red flag, so you probably could be.
You could do one of the racing schools. There's even a Ford Performance.
You could be commenting under the red flag.
Who is the son of legendary road racer Danny McKeever, can teach you the fastest way around this track. And guys, I'm assuming that when Dan teaches you, he would also tell you to stay off the curb. So a lot of different ways to get out here, a lot of great racing schools. Go do one of those track days, because this track is amazing. You guys saw this morning when you got
phone is in the car and you're under red. 2110 Syracuse, let's go.
Nothing else like it, and you really can't.
Like I said, I should be at the fucking game right now, but
changes are and how close those walls are until you're out on the track.
No, so my friend who was gonna drive me, Nick, his dad, he just doesn't know where his dad is. Or as of like 5 hours ago, he was like, I don't know where my dad is, and he has my ticket. So, and then I tried to text Nick back, and then he didn't answer. So, I don't know. But yeah, I kind of didn't want to go to that game anyway. I'd rather go watch this race.
Baby.
But at the same time, I kind of do want to be at the game.
Yeah. All right, have a good day.
If you ride, you get it.
Oh, wow, we're really backed up.
Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Winval.
Get a dozen
of double crunch shrimp for $1 with any steak entree, only at Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Call me Brad Keselowski. Oh yeah, because you're on your phone in the car. The greatest, the greatest.
Confidence looks great on you. Toyota, let's go places.
Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead.
That's cute. My internet shrinks my ride.
Yeah? Well, mine's always got my back.
Okay, chill. Mine's faster than heart rate.
Okay, that's fast.
My internet's so fast, it keeps up with me.
Yep, that's because you all have the same internet.
Brad sucks.
Xfinity X5. So powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
Glad you think that.
I
like
am a driver
Brad.
with a dream. And part of that dream is making all the doubters believe.
Alright, so the red flag has been lifted.
Belongs here. I may be new to some, but I am not.
That was a relatively short one.
Because if you let your guard down, I will rise above. I am the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I am NASCAR.
It's only a 5-minute red flag.
Are you ready to win $25,000? Well, the free-to-play Jackpot Races app is here to make that happen. With expert analysis, live in-race tracking of your picks, your racing experience will hit the jackpot. Go to Apple Store or Google Play. Download the Jackpot Races app today. And so the car's rolling once again under a yellow flag condition now. And Steve, will we see guys on pit road here?
I don't expect to see many of the leaders. There might be a few that gamble, try to do something different, get off strategy. We talked earlier about how do you battle somebody in points. Well, if you don't think you can beat them on the racetrack, maybe you do something different. The 9-0 Greg said like they considered it, stayed on the racetrack. So all of our playoff cars are going to stick to the plan. Well, almost all. What is that? The 92 monster cars. So I got to confirm the car number first. 98 of Riley Herbst on pit road, Parker.
Right, it was a very late call. Richard Boswell told Riley just be prepared for a late call here for the 98 and 2. Came into this race in a must-win position to get to the next round of playoffs. Really struggling with rear grip as you see that large adjustment in the rear. It's going to be 4 Goodyear tires of Sunoco fuel. Probably Herbst see if they can control some alternate strategy here to get victory late in the day.
So one car, Michael Annette on pit road. It was not known that he was going to be in this race car until about the middle of the week. Remember, he's recovering from surgery on a broken leg and has not been in this car much. But he came to it late, decided he was going to race it today, see how it is today, and if he wants to, the team said he will be staying in the one for the rest of the year. They said,
Oh, so Michael Annette is in the race today.
Good to have Michael back behind the wheel, as he's already announced he's going to step away from full-time Xfinity Series racing at the end of this season.
Yeah, the 35-year-old won the Daytona race back in 2009.
I like Kyle Busch, Harvick, and Truex. Oh, I only like one of those drivers, and that driver is my favorite driver. I like Kyle Busch, and then I fucking despise Harvick and Truex. So.
Making the playoffs this year, but has had some strong runs in the one car for Junior Motorsports. Dave.
Back down to the 16 situation with A.J. Allmendinger having some interesting things happen mechanically. Listen.
Chris, you might actually have an issue here, man. The like gearbox is real sticky now. Like I struggled last chicane to get it the second. It's feeling really sticky. Like it's really hard to shift.
They're going to keep an eye on that, but the 16 driver, having won both of his starts here, the last 2 Roval races, may be in a bit of a sticky situation.
I'm free to be the greatest here tonight. The greatest, the greatest, the greatest.
Veterans from the Mortgage Peacock pit box, and KP, DJ, sticky transmission. Guys?
Sticky transmissions aren't good. I can tell you. But you know what? Watching this thing so far, I think Hemrick's represented himself well.
Yeah.
And I look at AJ. AJ's just lurking. He may be in a sticky situation. But I wish I could imitate Harry Carey because the curbs have scored again. The curbs have scored again here. I'm telling you, man, this is fascinating.
It is fascinating. I have to say, I'm surprised Justin Allgaier making the mistake of a veteran right there. And I'm wondering about the 22. Is he good enough? Or is he having brake bias problems? And Rick,
I'm going to tell you what, with what we just saw that created this caution, I think we make it on our list of that, stuff that has happened in 2021 that maybe makes us shake our heads.
It's definitely things that we have seen already this year that we definitely question over and over. Did that really just happen? The airborne cars at Indianapolis now going through the curbing here at Charlotte.
All right, green flag.
There are 8 laps to go in stage 2.
Sam Mayer spins his tires really badly on that restart. Little contact between him and A.J. Allmendinger. A.J. trying not to lose too many positions here. On this restart, he was in their second row, and he's fallen back to the middle of the field there, losing several spots into 9th place.
Sam Mayer lost a lot of spots there. Kyle's your favorite also? That's awesome.
Just behind him, Justin Haley in the 11.
He gets eliminated from the playoffs tomorrow. I'm gonna fucking set my house on fire. Again.
Drivers have to be really patient right there. A lot of give and take. You might not see that much give and take later in this race. We're almost halfway, coming to the end of stage 2. Intensity going to start picking up here.
Burton's, it's Harrison Burton and Jeff Burton. Once again, on the racetrack, they're separated by just 1 spot. Harrison Burton running 13th, Jeff Burton running 14th.
Great shot right here. You can see how tight this rear chicane is. It's really easy to spin the rear tires right there. Driving up into the banking.
And Jeff, earlier on the radio, we heard crew chief talking to Jeff Burton and saying, you know, you got to calm down. This is early in this race. But you also have to think about the situation Jeff Burton is in. He thinks his career is on the line with every race he runs because he doesn't have anything on the schedule for next year. So every turn, every position, every possibility of moving along in the playoffs is very important to him.
Well, it is. Jeff's in the wall.
Oh, Jeff Burton in the wall.
On the outside of 20 car through turns 2 and 3. Gets into a little bit of dirty racetrack.
He's fine though.
How much damage does he have? He was on the outside of Harrison trying to take that spot. How important that one position could be.
You got 10 people in here right now. Thank you guys. Y'all are the MVPs.
Infield part of the racetrack. And this track, for whatever reason, gets
Much
dirtier
appreciado.
than most road courses. The longer we run this race, the more marbles and dirt.
Yeah, Jeb's fine. It doesn't even look like he has all that much damage.
Here, Jeb tries to go the outside of 20, loses all the grip. Into the fence he goes. Yeah, it looked like a pretty hard hit, Steve. Again, non-soft wall concrete.
He's fine. It was more of just like a what the fuck.
So the concern is why the sheet metal.
Yeah, maybe he's not fine.
You look at both right side tires, it looks like the wheels have, you know, that white paint. That is hard.
He looks fine, but maybe he's not.
Rear suspension, Parker.
And Jeb came on the
Racing can be weird
They
sometimes.
did not knock out the toe. That means so he should be all right there. And has not reported any other damage inside the 10 right now. So he may have
There's a lot of smoke on the front stretch. I don't know why.
Well, the steering wheel is straight. That's the biggest indicator. You know, that nothing in the front suspension is bent too awful bad. So, yeah, maybe not enough damage to hurt the car.
That was about probably 10 to 15 feet ahead of where we saw Justin Allgaier hit the wall earlier, too. That's just out of turn 2.
Even though he may have gotten away with one, in his mind, he knows that he hit the wall, and he knows.
Bad timing to talk about him, yeah.
To be knocked out just a little bit, and the confidence, I guess. And
I always love when they're right on, like, I always love when they have the camera on the incident that happens. They just happen to have the camera.
Hey, Junior, 6 to go here in stage 2. Maya Snyder restarted 10th here in this last restart and has made his way up to 7th. He and A.J. Allmendinger a moment ago were battling for the 6th spot, but a nice recovery for this team. He was way too free in stage 1. They've made significant adjustments to the car. The car has come to life. But Steve, looking at that, 6 to go here in stage 2. Do you flip the stage? You know the winners. If you're going to win this race, you need to pit before the stage ends.
Yeah, I would expect it. You see Cindric the leader. I know there's a playoff point, but I believe you're going to have to race for the stage win. I actually think Hemrick, Gibbs, Haley, even the guys in the playoffs, if you're 30 or 40 points above the cut line this late in the race, I am racing for a race win. So I expect pit road to get very, very busy with 3 to go in this stage.
And we won't miss a thing as we will go NASCAR non-stop.
Why are they going non-stop with 5 laps to go on the stage? I mean, I get that it's longer laps, but like still.
So they only pay for what they need.
What do you say we see what this bird can do?
We are not getting you a helicopter.
Looks like we're walking, kid. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Caution's out. That may or may not end the stage. I don't know why there's a caution. Oh, the O2 has an issue. Brett Moffitt.
Get a dozen double crunch shrimp for $1 with any steak entree, only at Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. We get out.
Oh shit, that's a big ass piece of debris on the racetrack. Yeah, they had to call that caution.
We get out and rip it. And we track them down. So crack a Mountain Dew and get out and do.
Sam here is anxious he won't be approved for that new credit card, so he's procrastinating. Like, really procrastinating.
What even is that?
But
That piece on the track?
Because Sam looked for Karma Confidence on Credit Karma to see curated credit card offers with outstanding approval odds. So what will he use his new credit card for?
I don't know. We might bet. We're probably gonna have a restart in this stage.
With Karma Confidence today. Credit Karma, from free
It's gonna be a
credit scores to
shootout.
tailored card offers and everything in between. Download the app today.
The great thing about the app is we're going to get happy hour pricing on our drinks.
That's right.
No matter what time.
It's happy hour every hour.
Let's be honest. Anytime I see a discount, I'm going to go for it.
Right.
I don't care what it is. I have to have that.
Yeah. Anything that is half price tastes twice as good, right?
Right?
Caution is out, and Austin Cindric on pit road. Dave.
And trying to avoid contact on pit road, much as he's done all day on the Roval. He recently reported to the team that the transmission was okay. They wanted to pit here before the end of the stage, Marty.
Well, Dave, Steve predicted it a moment ago. There you see a lot of the leaders, including Austin Cindric, who was up front that entire stage 2, giving up the stage points here to get the track position. So when it flips around and the teams that stayed out right now pit, all these guys who pitted right now will be up front for the start of the final stage of the race.
And Steve don't have to come back to pit road.
No, they can make it all the way. 31 laps to go in the race. Everyone who pitted right here can make it to the finish on fuel. The debris, the 0-2 of Brett Moffitt, he went to the garage earlier with some damage. You see right there the entire front brake duct. Big carbon box with some fans attached. Tumbles out onto the racetrack.
There's Brett Moffitt in 0-2. Brett, champion in the Truck Series, and had gone back and forth as far as where he was going to run for points. You have to designate one series that you officially run for points in. Moffitt didn't designate that he was going to run Xfinity Series for the championship until later after the start of the season, so not a part of the playoffs this year. Parker.
Well, Steve, you mentioned how most of the cars that pitted here should be good on fuel for 54 of Ty Gibbs. The team immediately came on the radio and asked him to start saving fuel because they told me at a lap 31 to go, this is right on the money for them to be able to make it at the end. So obviously trying to save some fuel just in case we get some of that overtime as well. So these teams may be good to end at 31 laps, but if we start to go over that, it could get tight.
Great point, Parker. You know, you have to prepare for more than just the advertised distance anymore on top of the pit box.
And some interesting decisions here, Steve. Who decided to pit and who didn't. Daniel Hemrick is in really good shape with points. You know, kind of put himself in a bad spot here as far as...
So they're going to go back green at free to go.
Maybe not. We'll see. He stayed out. I can understand Haley. He's not that great in points. Snyder competes with me. Seems like he needs to win this race. Noah needs a few stage points. So some interesting decisions. Marty.
Jeff, I think the biggest reason Noah Gregson didn't pit there is that Dave Ellens wants to take all the time he needs because remember, they have that right front damage. So coming down here, they felt like they needed to have a little bit longer to pit. So that's why they're going to wait until the end of the stage to pit for Noah Gregson in the 9.
And the bubble battle's still very tight between Harrison Burton and Jeff Burton, 13 points. Those guys just out of frame to the right. Stayed out on the racetrack. There you see Harrison, Jeff. They're going to be very aggressive. Jeff especially, I expect to be very aggressive in these last few laps.
We saw how that aggressive driving put him into the wall coming through turn 2 a little bit earlier. getting ready for the restart. It will be 3 laps to go in stage 2. Hemrick, Haley, Snyder, Gregson, Clements, Brandon Jones, Harrison Burton, Josh Williams, Jeff Burton.
Jeb went to the inside to try to make it 3 wide. Harrison through the block.
Into turn 3, Hemrick is cleared. 11 of Haley as well as Myatt Snyder in the 2. And smoke coming from the right front of Myatt Snyder as he exits turn 4.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was real lockup or a rub. Up into turn 6. Gregson, Clements, Jones, and then the Burton boys. See Sam there, that white number 8. Off pit road with fresh tires, trying to get through these guys. Ty Gibbs right behind him. Ty Gibbs. These two have had big battles against each other in the ARCA series. Look at Ty Gibbs. Is he going to try to go under him?
Oh, there's a big.
Makes move.
A 78. That's. I think he's fine now.
Yeah, that was Stephen Parsons on the bottom of the screen there. We saw a lot of smoke. And now to the outside, Austin Cindric with those pressure tires. He and A.J. Allmendinger battling it out.
Well, to your point, Jeff, that pass from Ty Gibbs over Sam Mayer now has Ty Gibbs as the leading driver with fresh tires. So at the cycle of the stage, that'll give him some track position. Up front, Hemrick continues to lead over Haley by about a half a second. Yeah, these restarts have been huge. They got in front of the 22 of Cindric in those restarts. Here's Allmendinger trying to work himself through them.
It's Austin Hill in the 61 just in front of Allmendinger and almost contact there. Now Allmendinger moves to the inside. He'll try to get by Austin Hill here. Riley Herbst to the 98 follows as well. That's how close it is up front. Hemrick and Haley.
Haley did a nice job through the infield, closing the 10-car lengths down to 2. Unfortunately, lost a little momentum out of turn 8, coming into one of the last 2 passing zones here on this lap. He's going down the back stretch. It's tough to pull out from that far back.
And just behind these guys, Jeb Burton in 8th place has company behind him. He's losing 1 spot to the 54 car of Gibbs. And then Sam Mayer close behind Jeb. That's going to move Jeb outside the top 10 and out of stage points. The next car for them to pass would be Harrison Burton as well.
Yeah, they'll come into frame right here. You're going to see them all stacked up. Everybody battling for these points.
There's Jeb with Sam Mayer just behind him. Jeb in the 10. Mayer in the 8. And now the final lap of stage 2.
And these two right here are not just racing for points, but remember, a 1 playoff point bonus that you'll carry into the next round. We have seen rounds tie, so 1 point could be all the difference.
And a hard battle to see who wins the stage. Haley not giving Hemrick an inch. As a matter of fact, closing the gap now.
Ooh, come on, Justin.
Is he close enough?
Give him a bump and run.
Out onto the oval.
Keep up the pressure here. Make him overdrive his corner, then you beat him on exit. You're really good about that on the front stretch side. Beat him at the line.
Showing him the nose. Not sure he's close enough to pull out and pass him, but make sure he knew he was there. We'll see if he can carry the momentum right here out of the back stretch chicane onto the front stretch. The 18 of Hemrick with good acceleration.
3 car lengths now over Haley as he comes into the final chicane. And Hemrick looking.
All right, so Hemrick's going to win the stage.
This year, he won the first 2 stages in May on the oval. And now, after winning stage 1, can he hang on? He wins stage 2 as well.
So Hemrick wins stage 2. Oh, contact. Harrison Burton, he hits the wall there. Caution's out.
Into the wall there as Ty Gibbs was fighting for the spot coming out of that chicane.
Ty has to know what kind of situation that Harrison is in as far as trying to get through the next round of the playoffs. Maybe give that driver a little bit of a break.
I agree with you, Dale. I mean, we're talking the last corner in the stage. Stage points don't mean much to the 54, and here he is. Big contact with the 20, damage to the left rear quarter panel, pushes him up into the wall. I think that's an area where the young driver in the 54 just has to take a little bit of a breath. The 20's going to come to pit road. I mean, there's no reason to push that pass.
Yeah, they're definitely on two different strategies where the 54 is going to stay on track. 20's got to come to pit road. But that really was a positional battle that wasn't really that necessary. But we've seen Ty Gibbs race everyone the same. It doesn't really matter who you are, what car you're in. He's an aggressive race car driver. I'm kind of surprised by just how aggressive he is sometimes. I like it. Let's listen to some audio.
Three times at one lap. We're going to be the leader here. You're saving fuel. That's what you're worried about under these caution flag laps, saving fuel.
He's talking about having some trouble with the 20 car several times throughout the lap, but you got to understand this 20 needs every single point. You got to, you have to imagine they had these conversations this week about what everybody's agenda was going in, in these meetings together.
Well, and he's not racing the 20. The 20's come to pit road. I think his team perhaps could have maybe given him that information. Hey, you're racing Sam Mayer behind you. He's the only one in your strategy. Everyone in front of you, because not only was that a risk for the 20, it was a risk for Ty. What if he knocks his own fender in, cuts a tire? This is his chance to win this race. If it's that aggression that hurt the 20, if it would have smashed his own fender in, that's only going to hurt the 54's effort as well.
And Steve, I have to ask, is that a Chris Gale situation where Chris Gale, the leader of this team, the crew chief, should he be telling his young driver, all right, we got to put everything in perspective here?
Well, I think Chris Gale obviously is going to have the calmer of the two heads between driver and crew chief because he has the ability to sit on the pit box and see the entire picture. So I don't know all the radio communication that was made, but yes, I think the crew chief needs to explain, especially to young race car drivers, which is what most of this field is made up of, what the situation is as we see the leaders come to pit road. Parker.
It's been a great start here for Justin Haley. The whole point of
The sun came out in Charlotte, which I did not expect.
tires. I'm very happy to handle that car right now.
Winner of both stages, center your screen, Daniel Hemrick. He will get 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel. A little entry sensitive was all he said about the handling of his car, Marty.
Well, what a good stage for Maya Snyder. 8 stage points in the bank for the 2 car. He said, I need a little more forward drive off the corner. It just fell off so hard at the end of the run. That's Tyler Reddick's cut pit crew going to work on the tax layer machine. And right behind him, Noah Gregson. Now they go to work on that right front damage. Dave Ellens has come down to the pit box or to the ground level to kind of supervise what's going on. That big hole they're going to try and get fixed. They've had a patch they've worked up for about 10 or 15 minutes. There you see him
hot in here.
the right front, cleaning it up now, but that's a big hole they have to fill here on the front end of the 9.
Just remember, for rules, you can't add bodywork. So the only thing they can do to fill that hole is to use some different bare bonds, some duct tape, try to patch it the best they can. It's like we talked, I think the 9 maybe would have ignored the damage if they thought they had speed to go win that stage, but they definitely didn't as the tires got old. So now with 27 laps, 26 laps left in the race, a lot of stage points in the bank, why not fix your car, see if you can go ahead and make it at least a winning car.
Tight battle going on here in the Xfinity Series for the Cup race. Well, tomorrow, the Cup Series is the same scenario, except 9 drivers are separated by 22 points. And again, we will determine who advances to the round of 8. Of course, Bubba Wallace.
Oh yeah, this is a cut race, even for the Xfinity too.
A week ago at Talladega, he will be live on the Peacock.
Totally forgot about that.
Tomorrow, so we will hear from him and what the week has been like for Bubba Wallace. Rutledge.
Rick, I thought I'd come get a closer look out here at these curves that we saw the car hit earlier. Now, the fascinating thing is, looks like the curve is in the highest part, maybe about 3 inches high, whereas you can see those turtles. It's the blue strip there we keep talking about. Those are a lot higher, closer to 5.5, 6 inches in the middle there. But I guess it's all about risk versus reward when you look at the lines and where you can go for these guys. But Burton, I feel like you're okay with the turtles, not a fan of the curves. Is that correct, what I've taken away from this?
I don't like the yellow and black curves. I don't like those. I think it's just an extra penalty for no reason. You see right there, it just completely destroyed the car. And also brought us under a red flag situation. He would have been penalized because he was on the wrong side of the curve. Sort of had a penalty anyway without having to tear his car completely out. And he had a mechanical issue. Like, he didn't drive down there because he wanted to be there. He got there because he didn't have brakes and got put down there.
violation for Harrison. He came in just above the cut line, and now he's cycled back outside the top 20. He is going to be in a ton of traffic to get this stage started.
As we look at the Toyota driver updates, 2 drivers have clinched and will move on to the round of 8. One of those being Daniel Hemrick after winning Stage 1 and Stage 2 has enough points that he's guaranteed a spot in the round of 8, as well as Justin Allgaier. He will advance to the round of 8
All right.
no matter where he finishes today's race.
Harrison will ride
Back green.
like it's been all day long. His cousin Jeff back there at about row 10. We'll see if they can survive these first couple laps.
And definitely things heating up. 25 laps to go in the race. Sam Mayer in the 8, working to the inside of the 22, trying to take second away from Austin Cindric.
You see right there, the 8 of Mayer and 16 of Allmendinger, 22 of Cindric, the 98 of Riley Herbst.
Oh, Sam just a little bit wide right here. AJ doesn't want to drive to the inside because now he's offline to the outside in this corner and through this corner as well. Turn 8 and 9.
How about the 7 of Allgaier? I thought his day was over. He bounced it off the wall. No brakes, having all kinds of issues. And here he is battling for 6th place.
I'm hot here.
That's why you never give up. Dave, what you got on that 7 car?
And they told him before the end of the last stage, chipping away at it, and he kind of chuckled and said, yeah, and then he was told these are the kind of days that make you a champion. He says, I'd much rather have champagne and confetti, but they all agreed that they can work their way forward in this 7. The worst thing is it's just a little off balance, but obviously still pretty quick.
Allgaier has had a very interesting day. You see the damage to the right rear of that, and where the playoffs start. Justin Allgaier's daughter,
Maya Snyder got a penalty.
designs a helmet for him, and once again, she designed this helmet.
A restart violation for Maya Snyder.
A penalty from NASCAR, restart violation. You cannot change lanes before the start-finish line. NASCAR said the 2 of Myatt Snyder did on that previous restart. Therefore, he had to do a pass-through, give up all of his track position. This was a driver that scored those points at the stage and got at least in the conversation. If someone else faltered, he had some points available. He can make it on points. This right here, though, is going to put him way behind.
He's done a great job on restarts. That aggressiveness has paid well for him, just overstepped it there.
There is the message that's on the back of the helmet for Justin Allgaier. Love you, Daddy. Use every chance you get. Each time he gets into the car, his daughter always tells him, get every position and take chances, which he loves. His first fire suit was pink and purple. That's why you see the flames and the pink and purple on that helmet as well.
Looking at the back of this car, this is like a second chance in this race.
Remember when he wrecked, he said to his crew chief Dave Ellens, he said, look, dude, you're a really good road racer. Like, put it behind you. Like, Dave, he's like, look, this day's not over. And he's proven to be right.
Just in front of him is the 31 of Sage Karam. That name you would normally hear in IndyCar, but has been able to fight for Jordan Anderson here in the 31.
Okay, we took a look at that restart. I mentioned Myatt Snyder, so you can't change lanes. You have to follow the car in front of you. Here's Myatt Snyder before the start-finish line. Everybody's going to try to make it 3 wide. Well, Myatt pulls left. Without a doubt, it's to the inside of the 52 before the start-finish line. Now, whether he had driven up next to him or not, I don't believe matters. I think you have to stay in your lane, whether the left or the right-hand side. NASCAR feels he didn't and penalized the driver of the 2. So close. Another 50 feet. I think it would have been okay.
AJ Allmendinger is all over the back of this 8 car, Sam Mayer. It's fun to watch AJ try to find ways to get around this kid. Sam's got the speed, but he's also a little inexperienced, probably making a little mistake here and there, but not enough for AJ to be able to make the pass. AJ brakes a little bit earlier. Maybe trying to maximize speed on the corner exit or the exit of the chicane right here.
He's really loose right there, trying to get the rear tires to hook up and just struggling.
Ty Gibbs leading this race. No, Ty Gibbs is leading this race. You're not leading this shit.
Okay, that's fast.
Auburn versus Georgia is live on YouTube and 40K are watching.
Because you all have the same internet.
That's a big game.
It's so powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
Last minute of the match ended up with the ball hitting the bar. Thing saving the defender safe in 10 seconds. Yes, you are. No, you're not, Jaden.
I need to try it first.
Why are you hating? I'm not hating. I'm just stating the simple facts.
Like an F-150, thinks like an F-150, and powers like an F-150. It must be an F-150 hybrid. The 2021 F-150 Power Boost Hybrid with 570 pound-feet of torque and 12,700 pounds of max available towing.
We love our house. Been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic.
My facts are not incorrect, Jaden.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
I could maybe eat 2 cheeseburgers and a cherry latte. Oh yeah. What size? Route 44? Go big or go home. Go big or go home. And if you're gonna do it wrong, do it right. If you're gonna eat the dessert, eat a dessert. Shoes. Besides, drink yourself off. You have too many shoes. I know.
Roval is already more than most can handle. But the Roval during the playoffs as an elimination race, yeah, that's enough to make you wonder what could possibly go wrong. Everything. The NASCAR playoffs continue at the Roval.
Jaden, you lose all the time. You lose right now for lying to me.
For the Cup Series on countdown to green.
I don't like liars, Jaden.
The car owners of the 23 after Bubba Wallace gets that big win.
Oh, MJ's gonna be at the race tomorrow.
Joined by today's show's Craig Melvin for interview there. Can't wait to hear from those car owners and what it meant to see Bubba Wallace get that win a week ago. That will be tomorrow on Countdown to Green as we see still Ty Gibbs trying to hold off and he slides into the chicane.
Yeah.
Will that give the opportunity?
Oh, Ty Gibbs. That fucking sucks.
Ty Gibbs has to come to a stop.
And Rick, he's been reporting brake issues in that 54 car. He came on the radio just a lap prior saying the brakes were pulsating.
God damn, man.
Them cool down, but as you saw there, going to the braking zone, obviously continue those braking issues.
So the 54 had 2 options.
The Rays won the first game, but not last night's game.
Stop on the front stretch or come to a stop on the backstretch chicane. That's what the 54 chose to do. It's right here under braking.
I love it to come out 30 minutes to an hour after match finishes.
No option but to go to the inside of that curve, therefore missing the corner.
And let's talk about, Steve, what makes the brakes pulsate. So the rotors can get warped, and that way when you mash the brake pedal, it's pushing the pumps in and out of the caliper, and that will make the pedal go up and down while you're pressing it. What other things can make that brake pedal pulsate?
Yeah, overheating, as you mentioned, can warp the rotors, and also sometimes if they don't operate at the right temperature of your right pad combination, you get it too hot, and the pad actually gets sticky and puts material. And you know, as you can imagine, it's not running nice and smooth and clean. It gets kind of all patchy. Some of that can be brake balance, some car balance. Some can even be how the drivers use the brake. Let's listen into the 16 of Allmendinger.
No curbing, no nothing. Take care of your tires and take care of your shifter and everything. The only one that is even close to you is the 11 car. We'll keep you up to date on the 22. Take care of everything, brother.
I'd be unhappy if they remove that vid. Why would they?
Big picture, take care of everything. But I think it's very interesting. He mentioned shifter. Remember, A.J. Allmendinger earlier in the race. Hey, this shifter is feeling sticky. I had trouble getting in second gear. That's obviously right on the mind of Chris Rice. That's why he specifically said that. So for A.J. Allmendinger, he has to be very abrupt with those upshifts and downshifts. One missed shift, even if the shifter is still working, can break an engine. Dave.
Well,
what was interesting, Steve, was he was chasing down the 8 of Sam Mayer a little earlier. He's very frustrated with a couple of turn exits. Like, the car wasn't perfect, or he wasn't able to hit them perfectly. So it'll be interesting to see if he's vulnerable or not. You heard the radio. They believe that his only true competitor will be the 11 of Justin Haley.
League falls or talent attacked.
Yeah, and Sam Mayer maybe as well. He's got to watch out for them as well.
And this is a big tournament. Remember, A.J. Allmendinger had one of the best cars at
What video are you talking about?
The Xfinity Series at Indianapolis. They chose to not pit before the stage. Very conservative with their strategy. In the end, Cindric, who did pit before the stage, took the lead. They were never able to overcome it. Today, even with points on the line, the 16 car and A.J. Allmendinger pits before the stage at lap 36, stays on the strategy with Cindric. And for that reason, he's leading the race.
So Allgaier has advanced to the round of 8 during the race.
Jeff, you mentioned he wasn't as good at points. He had to get those stage points. I like the 16, learning from Indianapolis, being aggressive. Now they have the lead.
Yeah, I think sometimes, Steve, they trust A.J. Allmendinger so much because he's so fast. We got a problem?
Gibbs again in the back straightaway.
Oh my God.
Stop, more issues trying to get that car slowed down in that final chicane or the chicane on the back straightaway. Was in 4th position, losing multiple spots.
Yeah, after leading to start the stage, now Ty Gibbs struggling with this 54.
And you see, the rear wheels are locked up, the front tires are locked up.
Right. Yeah, you asked, what's the issue with the brakes? What can make them pulsate? It looks to me like either the fronts are overheated and not working, and that's why he's wheel hopping, or just the car, the balance has gone away, but it's definitely a rear braking issue for the Pigeon Ford.
So the only thing he can do as a driver, right? If you said you think it's the rear brakes, he can put front brake to it. He has an adjuster that can do that. But now what that does is just puts more heat to the front. Right. It takes braking force away. So now the only thing you can do as a driver is slow your braking down. You can't drive in the corners deep. You got to give some speed up on corner entry, Dave.
Let's check on the Burton-Cousins battle. We'll start with Harrison Burton, the birthday boy. He was wondering about his points position in comparison to making it to the next round. This was just after the stage restarted.
The math was wrong. Only racing the 10 car. Only racing the 10 car. No worries on the 2. Only racing the 10 car on the map. I'll get her here.
Remember, Maya Snyder was a concern until he had that penalty coming down pit road, racing the 10, and right now Harrison Burton has that in hand by a couple of positions, Parker.
Right, Dave, and they came into this race 8 points apart, Jeff, behind Harrison, and now sit 14 points behind, and they've been almost locked bumper to bumper throughout this race, but in just the last couple laps, Harrison has started to stretch away from Jeff Burton there, and Jeff's been struggling with the rear grip inside that 10 car throughout the day. We saw him get into the wall off of turn 2. You see the car wiggling there, lacking that rear grip, just not able to get the rear in the racetrack, and slowly but surely watching that 20 get away, and maybe watching his playoff hopes slip away there as that 20 drives into the distance.
There's Harrison Burton in that Dex Imaging number 20. He came in, again, above the cut line. It was going to be a battle, we knew, between the two. Harrison, son of Jeff, and Jeb, son of Ward Burton. So those two drivers have come up together. Harrison, the younger of the two, just turning 21 today, and Jeb closing in on 30.
I think we see more yellows in this race to give Jeb an opportunity, his team an opportunity to try to get some more opportunities to change their strategy, come to pit road, get some tires, do some crazy things on some restarts, be more aggressive. And we've seen these races with those late yellows just go chaos ensues at these tracks, in these Xfinity races.
I want to check in on the Roth Mortgage Peacock Pit Box with KP and DJ as we're down to...
Number 9.
He pulls in and stops. That stop-and-go penalty for Noah Gregson.
All right, let's not do that again, Tyler. You can be marched through there next time.
Take another look at what happened here.
Just wheel hopping, you see the back starting to slide around, and he's beyond being able to make the turn, has to come to a stop. Real dirty right there. So he's got stuff all over the tires. You'll have to be careful these next couple of corners. Let's go down the Roval Peacock Pit Box. Kyle Petty, Dale Jarrett, you guys check that out?
Listen, if I'm Harrison Burton, I want this race to be over with. Okay, my teammates took a shot at me.
Harrison Burton's having a great day, though.
Yeah, Harrison's done a fantastic job at dodging everything that he's had to and keeping his car on
Everyone with issues.
and not overdriving it. We're seeing a lot of that. And we
Jaden, how would you know that if you're in the race?
from overdriving your car and not understanding the situation in some of these cases. So these drivers trying to get everything in the car, but they need to have the big picture at hand.
Big picture right now, A.J. Allmendinger is out in front of Austin Cindric.
Oh,
Almost 4
the 17's around.
Cindric now without anyone between him and A.J. Allmendinger trying to close that gap.
Ooh, close call for the leader. Allmendinger going by that car that had spun on the front stretch. I think that was the
Joe Graf Jr., the 17 car.
Yeah. And it was, you know, no harm, no foul.
Your spotter told you.
Challenge for Allmendinger comes out of the front stretch chicane thinking, what am I getting myself into?
Yellow car getting a little bit bigger in the mirror.
So we're in green flag racing right now, Jaden, and you're apparently leading. So how are you typing?
USAA is made for the safe pilots. For Mac, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. Lucia, who announces her intentions even if no one's there. And Sergeant Moore, who leaves room for her room. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your option. Get a quote and start
One hand on the wheel, one hand on the phone.
what you're made of, we're made for.
It doesn't seem like that. But then you have to shift too.
Fired up.
And at this track, you actually do have to shift.
We get out and rip it. And we track them down.
And then wouldn't you crash because you're being distracted by your phone? See, like, there might be some tracks where you can maybe get away with, like, looking at your phone. Because it's like a long backstretch. But not here. This is a road course. It's 100% focus all the time.
Oh, hey, Pat. Toyota, let's go places.
Sam here is anxious he won't be approved for that new credit card, so he's procrastinating. Like you procrastinating. But that changes now, because Sam looked for Karma Confidence on Credit Karma to see curated credit card offers with outstanding approval.
You're better? No, you're not.
What will he use his new credit card for? Makes sense. See your offers and apply.
Dude,
with
just
Karma
admit that you're
Confidence
not.
today. Credit Karma, from free credit scores to tailored card offers and everything in between. Download the app today.
I definitely think mocha is an adult flavor.
Listen, the kids have their drink with candy.
Yeah.
I get my own drink.
This is our candy.
You know,
espresso candy.
Sonic Mocha Crunch Blast. Espresso.
You say espresso?
Yes, I do.
The grandfather clock is counting down to more than just a win. It's the final chance for a driver to make it to the championship floor. For a fan to catch all the drama.
But Jaden, you still have to shift. You have to shift the gears. You actually do have to shift here. Which means you have to use both hands at pretty much all times.
Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com.
Only 12 laps to go. The Nascar Xfinity Series playoffs from Charlotte. Telecast presented by Blue Emu. And a reminder tomorrow. That's right, another elimination race for the Cup Series. They will go from 12 to 8. The bottom 4 in points will go down. You see that Jordan 23 jersey there? Yes, Michael Jordan, as well as Denny Hamlin, will be talking with Craig Melvin. Today's show is Craig Melvin tomorrow. And Bubba Wallace on that historic win a week ago at Talladega. So that's all in front of us as countdown to green. As A.J. Allmendinger now a 3.8-second lead over Austin Cindric. And
You're cheating and using automatic? Dude. Alright, well that means you're not going to win then. That means you're simply just not going to win. Because they're going to take away that win.
We saw just before we went to break, A.J. Allmendinger coming up on Joe Graf Jr. on the front straightaway. Which way you going there, bro? That was close. And that cost a little bit of time, allowing Austin Cindric to close in just a little bit, but A.J. continues to have a healthy lead here, 4.7 seconds. See the two different approaches to the final chicane on the front straightaway. The 22 really wide, Creates a little bit more of a straighter braking zone, so you're not turning.
So you're pretty much telling me that whoever the winner of this race is he's going to get the win taken away from them?
We've seen him multiple racetracks.
Because they're using automatic?
The road courses, he's got really good speed. And going into next year, I think you're going to have to deal with this young man. He's won a lot of races, and everything he's done this year was about getting his confidence, getting some experience. Moving into next year, Parker, I think this guy right here will be a threat.
Hey, Jeff, as we're looking there at the 31 of Sage Karen, Rick, you mentioned earlier what.
And then when they don't get the win taken away because you're lying, then you'll have to admit that you're lying.
Indy road course here for Jordan Anderson Racing. Then he got a shot at Bristol where he really surprised Jordan with figuring that out so quickly to short track and now running the top 10. Even was as high as the top 5. Also,
wait, Jaden.
Who's going to definitely get some more shots.
But they have gloves on. So how are you typing?
And then also Phoenix, this Xfinity car is going to be great to see.
Parker riding in 8th.
How are you typing with gloves on?
The Canadian, who is very comfortable at this place from the very start. In fact, he has his one career top 5 here, a 4th place finish last year. But I asked him about running here one time and why he had so much pace here and running in Canada in the Pinty Series.
And you can't tell me that you take the gloves off because that would involve you. You would need both hands to take off of your gloves, and then you would crash while that's happening. So
he's very comfortable with that as he's been in street courses up in Canada.
How are you typing, Jaden?
We'll see if he sips just enough to make it to the end from here.
A lot of pressure being put on Austin Cindric from Sam Mayer, the young man there with the rookie stripe on the back.
No, you can't. You can't. You cannot type with those gloves. The gloves that they use, you cannot type with.
Most ever wins on road courses at 5 apiece. AJ Allmendinger can break that tie today if he's able to hold on for the next 10 laps.
I've been watching Cindric the last couple of corners through the chicane on the front straightaway, sliding tires here and there just a little bit. Really pushed this car pretty hard to try to eat into that lead. Now, maybe giving up a little pace on the back end of the run here. And Sam,
no, you simply just can't.
young driver,
it's a straight up lie.
The better he's going to get here. The faster he's going to get around this racetrack. He's going to continue to improve, especially following one of the best to do it in the Xfinity Series on the road courses, Austin Cindric.
Sam Mayer's an 18-year-old, a 5-time ARCA winner. He was the youngest East champion ever. Junior, is that what you and Kelly saw in Sam Mayer when you decided to put him behind the
okay.
He's kind of been in this Chevrolet
program,
a bit of a development program with GMS and a few other teams, and we had him in our late model stock cars for a year.
I want you to tell me your exact speed the next time that you go through turn 2. Or no, you exit the road course area and go back onto the main racetrack. I want you to tell me your exact speed at that moment.
He don't know it, but he's going to school right here. He's learning so much.
Oh,
big trouble right
Syndic.
Going up the hill. You coast the car up the hill into 6 through turn 5, and you can't get aggressive there. But this tire being really, really hard, it's so slick and easy to slip in the infield.
Sam Mayer right there, he was on the outside heading into the high banks, and it's just hard to get your car to turn. Austin Cindric able to get by. See right here, Cindric just overshot it. Yeah, just got out of line, back of the car, he had to chase that, and now they're side by side. Look at that, just a big slide.
Well, in that battle, we're showing you a replay of what that's done has brought the 11 of Justin Haley into the mix, consistently a little bit faster, a couple lap fresher tires. He was almost the backstretch behind, but now you see him. I mean, 10, 15, maybe 20 car lengths behind both the 8 and the 22. I think Haley's hoping for a yellow so he can have a chance to catch his teammate Allmendinger for the win. Allmendinger's hoping he sees nothing of the sort. Dave.
It was an amazing save by Austin Cindric there, and you can see Sam Mayer is caught back up to him and is putting the pressure back on again. But Mayer believes that his car is not as good in the drive-off category. He radioed that back to his team. But if Austin hands him another quarter like that, he's going to take advantage of it.
Almost put the bumper to the back of the 22 there with Sam Mayer aggressively getting in and out of these turns.
And when I
52.
look at what this series is about
young drivers getting their opportunity. I watch this battle between Sam Mayer and Austin Cindric, Justin Haley behind them. Jeff, you and I have had this conversation. Right, the Cup Series moved to 6 road courses.
Let's go,
now.
Dinger.
Look at the Colleague organization with Haley and Allmendinger. So good at the super speedways, but also so good at the road courses. I think these owners are starting to adjust what type of talent they're looking for at the next level.
Well, you're talking about Sam Mayer. He won the Trans Am race here, won the Trans Am race at Road America, right? So he clearly is a good road racer.
Stupid Tegna and Dish are why I'm here.
A new road course next year.
Well, I'm sorry that your cable isn't working.
Portland. Marty, what do you have on
You know, you might have checked NBCSN for the race. The race is on NBC. The race is listed as it's on NBCSN. It says that the race is on NBCSN, but it's actually on NBC right now. So that might be the issue.
Running up front in that race, and now following Austin Cindric Jr. I would say if he can somehow pass him clean, legitimately on the racetrack, boy, that would just send Sam Mayer's confidence through the roof.
Yeah, I think the situation right here is just trying to show patience. He's obviously way faster than Austin, and he sees Haley closing in. So the patience, he starts to lose patience trying to get around this 22 car. At once, it was kind of fun, learning, trying to race. Now you're about to lose another position. Maybe you're costing yourself a lot of time. You get really impatient. He's trying to send it high here, so we have the inside line downhill into turn 7. Can't do it. Through turn 8
Left
right
intercepts
here.
West Virginia car.
And now his work got harder, Sam Mayer, because Haley has closed in on him. So now Sam Mayer can't just pay attention to being on offense. He's going to have to be on defense a little bit.
You guys mentioned moving up to the Cup Series. Well, Austin Cindric is going to the Cup Series next year. He'll be driving the 2 car for Penske Racing. That's already been announced. Also, we're riding along with Justin Haley. He will also run full-time in the Cup Series next year for Colleague Racing. Now, interestingly enough, Allmendinger, who is an experienced driver, has raced at the Cup level before. He opted to stay in the Xfinity Series. He wants to continue to run for a championship in the Xfinity Series, even though Colleague will have 2 cars in the Cup Series next year.
Haley got a big run right there into that chicane. And he's going to get both of them here.
Yeah. Thought he was going to get to the side of the 22 there. So I didn't know if the 22...
Oh, so it's just pretty much like a
really tough corner right there.
cable issues.
Heavy braking. Haley underneath Cindric.
That was an impressive move by Haley. I thought he was going to get overtaken back by the 8. Instead, he crossed over.
We've said multiple times about drivers with Trans Am experience. Well, Justin Haley has tons of Trans Am experience sideways underneath Cindric.
And this is surprising. Cindric normally so good and dominant on road courses. And right now, the rookie Sam Mayer has been pressuring him. And here comes Justin Haley to put pressure on Cindric.
Well, you saw what happened right there. Haley trying to make a move on Cindric and just didn't work out for him. They lost a lot of momentum.
They're going to cross over here. Haley not able to get into the braking zone as well as the 8. Wow, the 8 gets down in there. Surprised he made the corner. That's going to hurt him on corner exit a little bit to the 22. Right behind these guys, Hemrick's closed in to join this battle as well. 18 car right there. As they battle side by side, it's a slower lap time. 18 drawing in, the 54 as well. Just behind them.
Hey guys, only 5 laps to go in the race. Allmendinger has a 9-second lead over this battle right here for second.
And what a battle this is.
The person that, if you feel like you can be the one guy that can clear the 22, you can drive away from all these guys. So all of them are trying to be that guy.
And to Austin Cindric's credit, his car is not what it needs to be, but he's been able to stay in front of them. I mean, that's a great job of driving. You don't always have the best car, and when you don't, you got to find a way, and that's what Austin Cindric is doing right now.
This is pretty amazing. 2nd through 6th right now are right here, right on the screen. These 5 cars are running 2nd through 6th with under 5 laps to go in this race.
That's pretty impressive to see Cindric with so much pressure and not make a mistake, to your point, Jeff. He's going into the Cup Series, and it's because of things like this. Hopefully he doesn't go into the next chicane and wheel hop and spin himself out. But you know, to be able to have all these cars beating on your back door and just continue to run your line lap after lap and hold them off.
God, I hate that. Yeah.
Really, for nothing. He doesn't need to.
Riley Herbst is back to the garage.
Parker. All right, guys, we saw Riley Herbst there who came into this race, and it must have been position, had a rear end issue.
So yeah, Riley Herbst is out of the playoffs, which is fucking good. Fuck Riley Herbst.
Shock at one point turned out to maybe be an axle in the 98 they've taken behind the garage.
Brandon Jones is still in, which sucks.
I think this is why this battle right here is so important, because remember, AJ Allmendinger has already said once that he had a little bit of a sticky transmission.
Oh, the 22, a little wide right there. You saw it, Steve, a little smoke out of the left front tire.
Yeah, the 11 and the 8 continue to beat and bang, and my point is, you know, we don't wish him any bad.
We'll have local CBS channel. That's so stupid.
Both drivers and equipment, so you want to be that next car in line.
And Haley, you know,
Can't watch like a lot of.
really good in points.
Can't watch a lot of football that way.
Points good right now, so he can be aggressive. Even if he had a bad day, got in a wreck, he still should advance into the next round of the playoffs.
But you can tell, though, Jeff, to your point, Haley has yet to make contact with anyone through the infield. He's been side by side with both the 22 and the 8. Very clean racing.
Caution. Caution is out.
Oh, we got a car coming on the pit road. A lot of smoke. The 44.
Oh, wow. Tommy Joe Martins has a lot of damage. All right, guys. This is going to be exciting. Are we going to get overtime? We probably will. I don't know if it'll be an overtime or just like a 2-to-go restart. Because last time the caution was only 2 laps. This changes everything.
And it will bunch everyone back up for the restart.
Well, remember, we heard the concern about fuel for a few of these cars. You see the heavy contact with the outside safer barrier. So with 3 to go here, you wonder if this isn't going to drive us into overtime. And if it does, all of those drivers that pivot on 36, I thought they were fine on fuel, but we've had a few reports from our pit reporters that drivers were being asked to save fuel. Ty Gibbs comes to mind, so we'll have to listen in on the radios and see what all these teams have to say about their fuel situation.
And all day long, we talked about the battle between Harrison Burton and Jet Burton. Well, now, with only 3 laps to go, the caution coming out, that's going to put both of these teams in a position of what do you do?
I just killed a fly.
You can easily change 12, 14 positions on a late race restart.
You see the frustration in the eyes of AJ Allmendinger with such a big lead and a late yellow.
She's happy with the games Fox shows because most Panthers games are on Fox. Oh.
Right here, I'm right behind Harrison. I'm doing whatever he does. Harrison comes to get some tires. I'm staying on the racetrack.
It's still just stupid. It's like sometimes the Super Bowl's on that channel.
We run next to each other all day long. You asked me at the beginning of the show, Dale. You said, "Hey, what pit strategy would you do?" I've tried everything in stage 1, everything in stage 2. It didn't work. So at this point, I'm going to put you on an opposite strategy and hope it falls our way.
There you see Tommy Joe Martins in the wall. Already big impact.
And you see all the sparks and debris.
We're going to see that AJ so frustrated because he had the race won.
That's what a man with a 9-second lead, when the caution comes out, that's what it looks like. Extremely frustrated.
Yeah, 3 laps to go and he ran.
He knew it wasn't going to be that easy. Not that it's been easy, but hey, what did they tell him at the beginning? Patience, no dents, and he's done it. He's put this car all the way in the right position. I mentioned a great pit call by this entire organization. Right there, you see Jason, the crew chief on the 16, big Matt Collins standing behind him, no radio on. He's not sure if that's maybe he doesn't want the information. He's just an onlooker at the moment.
3 to the good right now. Just save all you can, okay, buddy?
There you go, 3 to the good. That was some of our question about fuel as we see overtime pop up. I think this will get an overtime. But the first question is pitting. So it sounds like Allmendinger, he's obviously not going to pit from the lead. But someone's going to. Somewhere in this field, there's going to be a point where drivers feel they need to go.
Check the Syracuse game.
So the 22 of Cindric struggling like he is, maybe.
I wouldn't have to if I was there.
You know, that first guy always drags everybody with him. That could be a bad.
Oh shit, that's a close game.
Yeah,
20-21.
For sure. So let's see right here. Green lights.
All right, so they do have overtime.
Second one staying out. It looks like someone's going to be the first one to pit. They'll be inside the top 10.
Oh, Hemrick is pitting.
And as you pointed out,
And then everyone, a lot of people follow him.
More keep coming. That's going to make this call by Hemrick more advantageous with less cars to pass. Dave.
They knew that they had advanced. You see the graphic there on the left, so they are through to the next round. here for one thing. I can't win this way. Bring it down pit road. 4 fresh Goodyear tires. The 7 of Justin Allgaier, about his tires, he said they are shot. And so they wanted to come down pit road as well. Again, having overcome a lot of damage today, Marty.
An impressive run for Maya Snyder after that penalty. Restarted 31st and driven up to 19th. Just on merit. His 4 fresh Goodyear tires to see what they can do with this overtime finish.
It's the third quarter.
The Burton cousins, and amazingly, they both stay on the racetrack. I'm not sure I understand that, Jeff, but we'll see how it plays out.
I tell you what's going to be tough is they're really going to be the first cars that don't have tires. So there's going to be a ton of pressure coming from behind them with new tires. We've seen new tires matter. So, you know, Daniel Hemrick coming off pit road with tires, he is going to line up almost right directly behind Jeb Burton.
And when I sat down with you, Steve, when we went to work, I begged you never to put me in that situation. I understand when we got to stay out on the racetrack, and there's going to be times when I'm not going to be able to come down and get tires, but don't let me be the last guy on used tires with all those fresh tires behind me. That is such a terrible situation for a driver.
It was there. If there was going to be contact or spun, we were going to do the spinning. We were going to be pushing somebody else off the racetrack.
Can't watch since NBT doesn't support Sling TV, bunch of bitches.
I want you to showcase your talent, and I don't believe you can do that on old tires. That you're just trying to stay out of the way.
Probably just a money call.
And Steve, I found this an odd call as well, and in listening to the 10's radio, they were discussing this situation, and right at the end there, before the caution came out, the 20 of Harrison Burton was actually backing up to them, so they were questioning if he maybe has an issue, has overworked those tires and felt like they were maybe the better car at the end, so they committed to staying out and staying right near that 20 here. We'll see how this works out for them.
So much on the line right now for both Harrison Burton and Jeb Burton. You're fighting for that final spot in the playoffs tomorrow. The same thing coming. 9 drivers separated by 22 points. It's an elimination race. That's right. 12 drivers will go to 8, and we will relive what Bubba Wallace was able to accomplish 1 week ago, as well as hear from car owners Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin, who will be with today's show's Craig Melvin.
I'm going to charge my calculator all night, Rick, because with that many drivers that close to points, tomorrow is going to be everything we've seen today times about 10.
Well, they have a stream of. They might not have for this race, but just look up NASCAR on Twitch. They might have a stream for it. It might be on a big delay. Usually it is, but it's either on channel. Shit is stupid back and forth.
They're not going to be able to force the issue. Are you just going to get spun out because you're not quick enough? This is a really, really tough situation for both of those drivers.
And I think that Harrison's in a pretty decent situation being on the inside. He has a little more control over where he can go, what he can do on these restarts. Jeb on the outside could get put in a 3-wide situation, could be boxed out on the corner exit of turn 1. This could be a tough situation for Jeb to overcome.
And remember, older tires on these guys going into turn 1.
Well, Hemrick, I know he's 5 or 6, 7 rows back of that pink number.
All right, we're going back green here.
Turns 1 to 2 and 3.
They have 2 to go.
Big. It's wide. If you can get through the infield in 5 or 6 spots, he's going to have a shot at it.
That outside line's a little bit dirty as well into turn 1. Keep an eye.
It's overtime, presented by
Overtime.
It will be 2 laps to go when they get to the start-finish line. Green flag back in the air.
Cindric really slow on the start.
Oh boy.
Pushing into turn number 1.
How did they not die?
Back here, 4th position is Hemrick aggressively coming up through the field. Trying to stay in front of Sam Mayer.
Holy shit.
Searching for that first win in the Xfinity Series is going to be aggressive.
Allmendinger trying to be the winningest road course driver ever in Xfinity Series history. If he can get out front and win this one.
There's a little slip by AJ through turn 6 there, down into 7. Sam sees that issue. Good exit off of that corner, though, by AJ. He's going to drive away as they continue to accelerate, headed toward the braking zone of the back straightaway. Expanding that lead. Get out of those corners. Get out of the corners with the long straightaways.
And the 18 of Hemrick already inside the top 8 right there. The pink car that just entered the screen. Remember, 2.3 miles for every lap. All kinds of corners left if he can continue to make ground with those new tires.
He's got 6 cars to pass if he wants to get his first ever win for NASCAR.
Big spin chicane. Cars trying to negotiate that. A lot of smoke. Looks like everybody's pulling away.
Looking to get the white flag. The one of a net not moving.
White flag. That was so stupid to wait. They're probably going to pull the caution out for that shit.
But NASCAR's going to let it go. Okay, the one now is moving the backstretch. I expect it to end under green. The 54 now into second. Hemrick into fifth.
Allmendinger now with a 1.8-second lead over Ty Gibbs. Sam Mayer's fallen to third.
Oh shit, there goes Ty Gibbs. Oh boy. Oh my god, that was an amazing drift right there. Did y'all see that?
I told you those guys are rivals, man. They go at each other when they race.
Sam got her knee Ty going down that little short stretch, and Ty tried to block that move. Sam wasn't having anything to do with that. Ty did a great job of saving that.
It looks like it's going to be AJ.
Pulling away. The 16 of Allmendinger looking for win 6 as they go side by side for second. Cedric on the inside. Sam Mayer's
Oh shit. Sam Mayer. He's going to lose a lot of spots right there. He's probably going to finish like 15th now.
But Allmendinger now with over a 2-second lead.
AJ's going to win it. AJ wins it. AJ wins it. AJ wins it. AJ wins it. Oh shit, and there's a crash. They're crashing. Oh shit. Oh man, they're still crashing. Holy shit. When are they gonna cross? Oh man, it's trying to fucking back up. Brandon, what are you doing? Brandon Brown crossing the start-finish line backwards.
Finishing close enough to Jeff Burton. He has enough points. He's above the cut line.
That was a fun time. AJ wins at the Roval.
You look at the points through the round of 12. Allmendinger with the win. He will advance, and more importantly, he gains another 5 playoff points that will start the round of 8 with him, Dave.
And Rick, this just barely was a win for him. He just announced to the team that the car started missing coming to the white flag. It was short on fuel, and if he makes it around to actually do the burnouts, I'll be surprised.
A lot went on in that last lap. AJ Allmendinger did a great job keeping that lead, but we saw
AJ might be out of gas.
Charge into the top 3 there. And the 54 spinning around. Some action on the front stretch caught my attention because you had to get both of the 2 Burton cars. We watched Jimmy Johnson be eliminated from the playoffs in the last corner here in Charlotte before, so we knew it was going to come down to every single.
Random is a big badass. That was Brandon Brown.
And it did. Jeff Burton finishes unofficially about 3 spots in front of Harrison Burton, but they came in. Harrison Burton had enough of a lead. It looks like he will be a part of the round of 8 as Allmendinger about ready to celebrate. Again, his 6th road course win. That's the most of any Xfinity Series driver ever.
You'll hear AJ's tires just squealing.
On the season for AJ Allmendinger, and coming into this season he had only accomplished that 5 times in his career, so equaling what his career number was when he started 2021. He won the regular season, and now Allmendinger wins at the Roval for the 3rd time in a row. Marty.
Rick, what an incredible way to go into the round of 8 for A.J. Allmendinger. A win for the Dinger here at the Roval. Again, his 3rd straight, as you just mentioned a moment ago. Holds up the number 1 to the fans here. Gets a checkered flag.
Put AJ in a good cup car, exactly.
Waving to the fans. when that caution came out with a handful of laps to go, and you got a 9-second lead.
I knew it was coming out. Like it wasn't going to go simple like that. That was a fight today. You know, we had to be kind of on defense early.
Okay, his team in NASCAR? What do you mean his team? Is AJ a team owner?
This place was tough to pass. The track was really slick to begin with, obviously with all the rain. So I can't thank all the men and women at College Racing enough. Matt Collin, Chris Rice. The Type Rice Chevy, once it got in the lead, was stupid fast. You all are what makes this so much fun. So it's, I'm just proud of everybody at College Racing. You know, the big picture's,
AJ gonna win the championship? I dare hope so. Like,
that's, means the world to me. Thank you. So, everybody, Leaf Filter Gutter Protection, Leaf Home Solutions, Ellsworth Advisors, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Celsius. Can't thank ECR and Chevy enough. Xfinity for allowing us to do this. So this was what an awesome day.
Boy, they survived everything, including the call.
AJ.
AJ Allmendinger, your third straight win at the Roval.
Mr. North Carolina getting the win here at the Charlotte Roval.
That was a quick race.
What a way AJ Allmendinger does it. He dominates throughout the race in that final stage. Even overcomes a late race caution where he has to battle for the final restart in overtime, and he gets it done. We'll wrap things up from Charlotte. Return.
You know, one of the best part of being a dad, you didn't finish? Let me add that. Let me finish it for you. I'll finish it. That's why you get a dad bod. It's a thing of beauty, man. Sonic grilled cheese everywhere. It's a tasty life.
Betty is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now, she's free to become Bear Hug Betty. Settle in, kids. You'll be there a while. Ooh, where you going? Barbecue.
All right, y'all. I'm going to end the stream here. I'll be live tomorrow at 1:45 for the Cup race, and I'll stay all the way till the end of the Red Sox, which starts at 4. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and peace out.